Michael and Robin Thompson claim former neighbor Suzanne Statham owes for harassment and vandalism to their car. Suzanne is countersuing, claiming Michael vandalized her front lawn.
Mr. and Mrs. Thompson, you rented a house in a neighborhood where Mrs. Statham has been a homeowner for many, many years. According to your complaint, for some strange reason, she didn't like you and your family from the beginning and created a situation that ultimately ended in your moving from the house. You are suing her for filing false charges with Child Protective Services, vandalism, and for harassment. Ms. Statham says that while she acknowledges that she called Child Protective Services, she believes she had good cause to do that. And with regard to the vandalism, she said she would never vandalize your car. However, she has proof that you did vandalize her property, and she is counterclaiming. When did you move into this house?
January 2004.
And how many people moved into the house?
5.
Yourself and 3 children?
Yes.
How old are your 3 children?
5, 10, and 16.
Boys, girls?
2 oldest are boys, youngest is a girl.
Okay, so tell me about the first confrontation that you had, allegedly, with Ms. Statham with regard to these false charges with Child Protective Services.
The first was February 2004.
Is that correct, Ms. Statham?
I called. I don't remember exactly when I called.
Fine. Tell me why you called Child Protective Services.
I was concerned.
Well, tell me what made you concerned.
The reason I was concerned is because they would not be there when the boy came home.
Which boy?
It's the oldest boy. I was concerned about his well-being.
Well, tell me what made you concerned.
Because he was left out.
What do you mean left out?
They wouldn't be home when he came home from school. When it was bad weather, he'd be outside, sitting on the porch. I'd let him use my phone to call whomever, and they would come home and let him in.
Yes.
Then he told me that he was living in a tent in the backyard.
Yes.
Sleeping there.
When he said he was sleeping in a tent in the backyard, was the connotation his parents didn't let him in the house?
I kind of, you know, felt sorry for him. I did. I felt like it was, I don't know. He just told me, quote unquote.
No, that's, they didn't say, well, I sleep in a tent in the backyard, thank you very much, have a nice day.
No.
That Miss Statham, that
Okay.
didn't happen. If you were having a conversation with him and you were talking to him about other things, and he may have said, I sleep in the backyard in a tent, that's my own private space, I like it back there. That sounds more logical to me. Is that what happened?
Well, he told me that he was living in a tent in the backyard, and he liked it. And I said, well, isn't it cold back there?
And what did he say?
He says, oh, I've got a lot of covers.
Yeah.
Okay, and there were so many nights that he was out late at night playing basketball that I heard him. And I was just concerned that he was out at 10, 11 o'clock at night.
Well, yeah, it's pretty snoopy. Shh. I'm just telling you, that's pretty snoopy. We're talking about a 16-year-old boy being out at 10 or 11 o'clock at night and saying to you that I sleep in a tent in the backyard and I sleep under covers and I'm very happy. Do you have teenage children?
I've had teenage children.
Did they ever do anything that was bizarre?
Oh, yes, they did.
A lot of things that are bizarre.
Okay.
Well, and now if they want to go out in the backyard and sleep in a teepee or in a tree house, you know, you're just lucky that they don't want their own condo.
Okay. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. And then I did say something, you know, as far as I raised my children alone, and latchkey kids had keys, and I mentioned it to Mr. Thompson.
What did you say to him?
I said, you know, like, if they're going to be latchkey kids, at least they could have a key.
For my own information, is there a reason why the 16-year-old didn't have a key to the house?
He loses keys, so we don't personally give him one. There's a lockbox out front with the key in it. And the time frame that he was left alone would be the time that we had to go pick up our other 2 children and then come back. So we come back usually around 4 o'clock. So he's not out all night long. It's only about 30 minutes.
Okay. I mean, I just indicated that I felt as if her interfering in what was going on in your house, because based upon what she says, there was nothing so untoward that, in my judgment, as a seasoned family court practitioner, would have inspired another neighbor to pick up the phone and call Child Protective Services. 16-year-old being out in the street playing basketball at 10 o'clock at night is not neglect, and certainly a 16-year-old who chooses, with parental permission, I gather, to sleep out in a tent rather than to sleep in the house is not abuse.
It wasn't a tent either. It's a shed, as you would call it.
With electricity,
Electricity,
carpet,
carpeting, a fan, a heater,
Why
TV.
was he sleeping out there?
Well, he would sleep out there when he wanted to, but he wasn't opening the lockbox to go into the house, so we created an environment for him in the back after school to go play videos, do his homework, whatever.
have his own personal
Because
space.
it was a rainy season. We didn't want him outside, but he was too lazy to unlock the box. So that's a
That
16-year-old.
sounds right. Now, I want you to describe to me the other forms of what you claim to be harassment.
Okay. Several times there was debris all over our vehicles. A dead rat was put on our car in the morning. After the dead rat incident, we installed a surveillance camera.
This was in September 8th, when I went out to my car. We had already moved the basketball hoop because there were 18 reports to the county where our landlord called us and said, look, you need to move the basketball hoop from the street.
So it's one of these portable things that you put out there that
Correct.
really isn't supposed to be out there, so somebody called and complained. I assume that was you. I cannot, well, I can fault her. I cannot say to Miss Statham, who acknowledges that she called the town, she probably called the landlord about this basketball hoop. If it's not supposed to be there, she's within her rights to call.
Right.
Okay, so she was not a good neighbor, but now we're going to get to the vandalism.
Right.
So you installed a video camera.
surveillance camera.
After
Now,
the
Miss-
dead rat.
After a dead rat. Now, Miss Statham says there was no way she would
way.
vandalize your
No.
car. Tell me what you found on your car after you installed the video camera.
In the morning, the wife went out. She said there was rocks and debris all over the hood of the car. So I rewound the tape and saw Miss Statham turn her porch light off, come outside, have a cigarette, go through her garden, walk over to the vehicle, throw something on the windshield of the car, and you can hear it hit. And she brushes her hands off and walks back in the house.
I assume that since I see that tape there, that's something that you want me to see. Now, before I see the tape, Miss Statham, did you or did you not
No,
vandalize
I
their
did
car?
not.
That's all I want to know.
You can see her porch light's on. She turns off her light. When she comes outside, you'll see her.
Just a second.
There
You
she
see her
is.
walking over to the car, and you can hear it. You can hear it hit the windshield, and then she walks back into the house.
She always turns off her porch light when she goes outside
The reason
to
my porch
smoke.
light is off right there, Your Honor, is because they have those bright lights on me right now.
What were you doing out there, madam?
Well, I had a cigarette. I was just checking, you know.
No. If you...
I mean, you can't walk out at 10 o'clock. I didn't do anything. I did not throw anything at their car. I swear. I didn't.
So now you can tell me what kind of damage there was to your car.
We have pictures here of the damage.
Can I see, please?
Yes, ma'am. There's a 3-inch crack on the top of the windshield. We took a picture of the car far apart and closer in, and there's also a picture of the surveillance camera.
Did you file a police report, Mr. Thompson,
Yes,
after
ma'am.
this
We have a
incident
copy
of
of
September
that.
5th? Can I see it, please? Anything happen after that?
Yeah, there was an incident where someone went through our car. She screamed at us and our children about the way that our lawn was kept. She sent her son over to talk to us because she said some foul language to us, and we
And our
responded
children.
back
It
to
was
her.
bad language.
Oh, yes.
Well, that was the wrong thing to do.
So she sent her son over to try and make peace with us.
Is their son here? That's you? Stand up, please. Tell me your name.
My name is Sean Rafferty.
How long has it been since you lived with your mother?
Since I was 16, 17 years old.
Is that when you left?
Yes, ma'am.
Why'd you leave?
I was grown up.
You were grown up at 16?
I felt so.
Just a minute. And you think you were right?
Yes.
So if you wanted to live outside in the backyard in a tent, up a tree, in a subway, or any place else, that would have been okay. Because you're a big boy, you're 16, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Now, there came a time, according to the Thompsons, when you went over to their home in order to try to make peace. Why did you think you had to make peace?
Well, because the night before, my mom called and she was scared because he would back his truck into the driveway so his headlights were facing at her and put his high beams on and leave them on. And I know my mom's a little nosy, as you said, so I know she's hard to live with. So I just walked over, knocked on the door, asked for the man of the house, you know, put my hand out to greet him, give him my name, and, you know, can we just let this be over? I apologize for her bugging you, and, you know, I know that she could do that because she...
That's why you left when you were 16. Go.
But, you know, he didn't want to have anything to do with me.
No. What did he say?
To say verbatim, I don't know exactly what
Well,
he
if
said.
you went over there, and I assume when you went over there, you were sober.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that right?
No, ma'am.
No.
He wasn't falling over drunk, but he did have something to drink. We don't drink.
Because,
We
Mr.
can smell
Rafferty,
it.
you got a little bit of a problem?
No, ma'am.
You do. Because it's early in the day, and I can tell you got a little bit of a problem, Mr. Rafferty. A little bit. So when you went over there, I doubt whether you went over stone sober. What did he say to you when he came over?
When he first came to the door, he said, basically, that's my mother across the street. And I remember saying, I'm sorry to hear that. And he kind of had an attitude at first.
No, what did he say? Don't tell me he had an attitude.
He was just kind of rambling on, telling me that his mother drinks on certain days. She's very nosy. She just wants you to cut your lawn the way she likes it. Clean up the trash from the side, which we cleaned out our garage, so our trash cans were full, so we had to wait till the next trash day. So she didn't like that fact. And then he calmed down, I guess, and, you know, tried to apologize for his mother.
And said, let it just go.
Correct.
And what did you say to him?
That's fine. Tell your mother, leave us alone. We don't want nothing to do with her. Don't talk to us. Don't talk to our children. Stay away from us. And we also sent her a letter to that fact.
Can I see the letter?
Yes, ma'am. This was sent on July 6th.
Okay. Now, Mr. Thompson, Miss Statham says that she has a witness. I assume that would be you. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Who's going to testify on her behalf that he saw you damage her property. Is that true?
No, ma'am. I say he's a liar.
Well, I'm going to be able to tell if he's a liar, because that's my job. And I'm usually pretty good at it. Okay. Mr. Rafferty, you can sit down. Tell me your name.
Richard J. Machado,
Where do you live?
Manteca,
Is that near where Miss Statham lives?
right next door.
You're going to describe something to me, something that you allegedly saw?
Yes, ma'am.
When?
In the early hour of the morning, I had got up to go to the restroom. Was about after 3 o'clock.
Give me the date.
The 17th.
And Miss Statham, don't speak.
No. I got it written down on paper. 17th.
17th of what?
May, after 3 o'clock in the morning, and then her dogs start barking. Then I went to the window and raised the blind to see why they were barking. And Mr. Thompson was on the bottom of her driveway. I could see him come up the driveway and in a sweeping motion, throw some fluid out, and then walk to the edge of the property towards where his car was parked on her side, and dabbled around there on the lawn on the edge. There was arm motion, but he had his back to me. So I don't know what he was doing at that time, but I know that he was making motions.
Okay.
And then was standing in front of it like he was admiring his work. And then
And you saw this, and there are street lights out there, is that what you're telling me?
Well, here's
I'm not asking you anything. Is that what you're telling me?
Well, yeah, because he has 2 spotlights facing her house, and then put a video camera in, and then to harass more, he even put a big sign in the middle of his lawn that says, "Vandal neighbor acquire within."
Miss Staten, I'd like to see the photographs of what you in the morning.
Okay.
And, Your Honor, we have a letter from Miss Statham. According to her, it happened May 14th.
The 14th was
Mr. Thompson,
Yes, ma'am.
somebody clearly poured something on her lawn.
I understand.
I don't know, I can only get out something. Oh, it probably says wacko. K-U, C-K-U.
The 4-letter word, ma'am.
Oh, something really nasty. I thought it was
That's right.
wacko. Oh, strike that. Okay, somebody clearly wrote in something caustic on her lawn. Mr. Thompson, I believe that would be you.
No, ma'am.
Well, you see, that's my job, because I have to make a judgment whether this gentleman is making this up. Now, why don't I think he's making it up? I don't think he's making up that it happened, because clearly it happened.
Oh, it did happen. Not by me.
I don't think that she did it to herself. That didn't happen. I don't think that he did it. I don't even think that her son, when he wasn't in total control, did it. So, it was you. Maybe it was your 16-year-old son. Who knows? But whether it was you or your 16-year-old son, that's your responsibility. So somebody from your house did it, which was as juvenile as what was going on from her end.
But no, ma'am, we did not do it.
Well, you say no, I say yes. I have the last word because I'm the judge. That's what they pay me for. I also believe that Miss Staten threw something at your car. Now, she'll say she didn't do it. She'll say it didn't happen. And I'm telling her that I believe it did happen. I believe that the two of you acted like very bad neighbors, but I believe she started it. I believe that she's a snoop. I believe that she's a busybody. I believe that she probably didn't like the way renters were taking care of this house that was rented. All kinds of things, none of which is any of her busybody business. I'm not saying it's true, and I'm not saying she was right. I'm saying she's a big old busybody, and she's a big old pain in the neck. That's what Mom is, and that's why you left. She's a busybody who's got nothing else to do with her time but mind other people's businesses.
But
that is not a lawsuit.
But she harassed us. And
Listen to me.
no, CPS coming over not once but twice, pulling our children out of school,
Listen to
checking
me.
their bodies.
Listen to me. You're absolutely right. She says I was concerned over a 16-year-old.
No, she thought he was 13.
Pay careful attention to what I'm saying to you. You, A, have no proof that she called CPS twice. She acknowledges she called once, not twice. You have any proof she called twice? You have any proof she called twice? The answer is yes or no.
No.
All right. The fact that they took your children out of school is very unfortunate. She's a busybody. She's just been dressed down in front of 10 million people.
Yeah.
And she had no right to do it. That is not actionable unless you can prove some sort of malice, which you cannot. And the way you respond to that is not bleaching her lawn.
We didn't
did
do
not do
that.
that.
Okay, I find that you did. Did you move?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you happy?
Oh, yes.
Goodbye and good luck. Have a happy life. And Miss State, you're not always going to get neighbors that you like. Mind your own business. You're a big girl. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Mamie Carter says her son's former friend, Michael Powell, damaged her home while she was on vacation. Mamie claims Michael threw parties the entire time she was gone.
Miss Carter, you hired the defendant to sit while you and your son went on a vacation. And according to your complaint, you came back and found your house trashed, some alcohol missing, and the place generally a disaster. How old are you, Mr. Powell?
I am 27 years old currently.
And what do you do for a living, sir?
Currently, I'm a waiter, and
what were you doing when you were engaged by Miss Carter?
Full-time college student, Your Honor.
Full-time college student at age 27?
I'm on the 10-year plan.
Where were you living?
I was living...
Why are you gazing up at the stars?
I'm
Why?
sorry.
These are not hard questions,
I'm
Mr.
sorry,
Powell.
Your Honor.
These are not hard questions, sir.
I'm sorry. I live
Where
in a...
were you living at the time that you were retained by Miss Carter and you were a full-time college student on the 10-year plan?
I live in a duplex near downtown San Antonio.
With whom?
With a roommate of mine.
And who supports you?
The
It's not an
state.
answer.
The state.
How does the state support you?
Student loans, Your Honor.
You've been getting 10 years' worth of student loans?
No, that's why I've been in it for so long, because I've been working as well as going to school at certain points in time. So that's why I'm 27 and still in college.
How many credits do you have? So you don't mind if I go through this with him, do you? This
have a
is
good
fascinating.
time.
I'm going to have a good time. You know. Sometimes the job demands you have a good time. Sometimes.
I'm a little bit indecisive, Your Honor, so I've changed my major quite a few times, so probably I've accrued close to 160 hours in school.
What do you want to be when you grow up, Mr. Powell? Where does your family live, Mr. Powell?
They live in San Antonio, Texas.
Is that where you come from?
Yes, born and raised.
Are you friendly with your parents?
Yes, very much so.
Did they give you money?
When times are rough, yes.
Well, if you're 27 years old and unemployed, sir, couldn't get
I'm a
rougher than
waiter.
that.
I'm a waiter, Your Honor. I'm a waiter.
Full-time waiter or a part-time waiter? And I'm going to find out where you're a full-time waiter, if you are a full-time waiter.
No, I'm not a full-time waiter, Your Honor.
All right, so a part-time waiter
30
doesn't
hours a
support a duplex, Mr. Powell.
It's cheap rent.
Didn't think that this would happen to you, did you? All right, enough. Miss Carter, which one of these two gentlemen is your son?
He is the one in the,
That one, in the suit.
in the suit.
And they were friends?
Yes, they were friends since 1997.
All right, stand up for a second. Your name?
Curtis Carter?
Curtis, where do you live, with your mother?
No, I have my own residence in San Antonio.
Perfect. Who supports the residence?
I do.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an investment broker.
Very nice. Did you buy that suit all by yourself?
She helped me out.
Who paid for it?
Gosh, my mother did.
Gosh. What?
Gosh.
Ouch. Gosh. I love it. Do you make a living?
Yes,
Okay. And you've known Mr. Powell for about 10 years?
approximately.
Where do you know him from?
We went to high school together, and we have all kinds of friends in common.
You know he's a little flaky.
Well, he hasn't always been.
He is now. Did you recommend Mr. Powell to your mother as a house sitter?
I did.
But we had previously hired him, Your Honor, on a previous occasion, and we got along without difficulty.
How many days did he house sit on the previous occasion?
Maybe a week.
And he lived at your house?
That's correct.
How long ago?
4 years ago.
And 4 years ago, Miss Carter, was he a college student?
Yes, he was.
4 years later, he's still a college student.
That's right.
You should have said to yourself, something's not right there. Now, you hired him when, the second time?
I hired him February 24th of this year.
How long were you going to be away?
We went away from March 1 through the 24th of this year.
And how many animals do you...
1 dog and 1 tropical fish.
Okay. And he was to take care of the dog, the fish, the house.
That's right.
Okay. When you came home on the 24th, did you take photos of the house?
We took photos of the damage the next day or so.
I'd like to see the photos. Are you an otherwise neat person?
Not particularly.
Now, where was this brick wall?
The brick wall is outside my kitchen. Somehow, it was knocked into the driveway. A 4-foot section of it was knocked in.
Your Honor,
Okay.
it wasn't a 4-foot section. It was maybe more like 2 to 2.5 feet. It was about 15. I know because I bought the bricks. There was...
I want you to tell me, Mr. Powell, how the brick wall fell down.
All I can really tell you is I believe it was because she lives in Almas Park, which is also a basin. It floods there a lot.
Just a second. Did it flood the 3 weeks that she was gone?
No, Your Honor.
And we are not in the floodplain.
You have to give him a chance, Miss Carter. Don't interrupt him.
Either way,
Were you leaning against it?
I was leaning against it, indeed.
You were leaning
yes.
against it when it fell over?
When it started to tremor, and then, boom, fell down about close to 15 feet into the driveway.
But I also have leave to give.
I told you, don't interrupt him. So you were leaning against the brick wall and it fell over into the driveway?
Indeed.
And you tried to fix it?
Indeed. Indeed, I did.
Did you fix it?
To the best of my ability, I had my friend over here, Jason, and his brother-in-law, who does construction and mason work.
27 years.
Helped to put the brick wall back together again. And I even planted flowers in the flower pots because I felt bad about the whole situation.
On what date, Mr. Powell, did the brick wall fall down?
Well, I'm basing this on the plaintiff's statement. She said I
No,
got
no,
it on
I
February.
don't want you.
Well, it's
the
been so long.
plaintiff is in Africa, on the plains.
Okay.
You are on her brick wall.
Okay.
So you tell me what date. Let's go back a second,
Okay.
Mr. Powell. You're 27 years old.
Yes, Your Honor.
You're a 10-year veteran of college.
Yes, Your Honor.
How many brick walls in your life have fallen down when you were leaning against them?
None since that one, Your Honor.
Before this one? Any before?
No.
So that would be an event that you would remember. Now,
Indeed.
on what date did the brick wall fall down?
February the 27th.
Good. That would be before she left.
Oh, I thought she said she left the February the 25th. See, this is the problem here, Your Honor. It's been so long since the whole incident has occurred. I really don't, dates are kind of a problem for me to recollect at the time.
Life is a problem for you, Mr. Powell. Now, when did you have the first social gathering at her house?
Well, I had a few social gatherings. They were spread out, you know. She said I could have a few people over, several people over. She said there wasn't a problem with that. So I did have friends over.
That's not true.
Don't do it again. Otherwise, I'll say goodbye to you. And you don't want that to happen.
No, I don't.
How many times did you have social gatherings in the 3 weeks that you were house sitting?
3 weeks I was house sitting, probably 6, 7 times.
And give me a range of number of people that you had at the house when you had these social gatherings.
The most at one time would be 5, including myself.
Were you always inside, or did you go outside?
We went outside.
When you went outside, what did you do outside?
Smoke cigarettes.
How many bottles of Miss Carter's alcohol did you consume?
I believe her statement was 2 bottles of wine.
If you don't know, say, I don't know, I don't remember, or I drank 2 bottles.
2 bottles of wine. And a little bit of Chivas Regal that she had there. Not the whole bottle,
Now,
which she claims.
The alcohol was in the bar?
It's actually in the kitchen. It's in a little drawer.
A bottle of Chivas Regal doesn't fit in a little drawer.
Well, there's plenty of cabinets in her kitchen.
So it's in a cabinet, not a little drawer.
A cabinet.
Did she have food in her refrigerator?
She had a little bit of food in her refrigerator. She also had a pantry that was well stocked with soups and the like.
Did you partake?
Yes, because that was part of the plan. She offered to let me eat and drink, so I did. I didn't have a lot of money at the time.
Were you supposed to get paid for watching the house?
Yes. I believe the agreement was $10 a day for 25 days, and I was supposed to receive $250, which I never received. I mean, she wouldn't answer back my phone calls after the first day, so I had to get an attorney. Because through my circle of friends...
You got an attorney?
Yeah, because I heard... Well,
you hired an attorney?
Yes, because we share... Kurt and I share... Her son share the same friends. And so you hear a lot of rumors and hearsay, and I was hearing she was bringing detectives into the house and doing all this, meticulous research, and I felt like my best bet would be to get an attorney.
How much did you pay the attorney?
$150 to send her a letter.
What you're telling me, sir, is you paid an attorney $150 to get you $250.
Also, just to communicate, because she was not, at that point in time, was not communicating with me. So I could not...
Just answer my question. You paid an attorney $150 to send her a letter to get your pay of $250.
Also to say that if there's any kind of damage as far as the brick wall is concerned, if it was a problem, me drinking the bottles of wine, no big deal. Take it out of the $250. But then when I serve the papers, I see this long list of these,
How did the banister, this wooden banister,
get broken? Which was broken when I got there.
Shh. The wooden banister was broken when you got there?
Yes.
Split in 2?
It was split in 2.
Is that right?
Yes, it was split in 2, but it was not split in 2 prior to my leaving on the trip.
No, just a second. That's what I'm saying to you. Was the banister split in 2 when he came?
Yes.
Shh. Was the banister broken before he came to house sit?
No.
Well, you have to listen to my question. When you came home, how did you find your pets?
My dog was in good condition.
Good. Well, at least he did something right. What about the fish?
The fish was still living.
Also, a blessing.
Yes, I agree.
Good. Now, there was a painting that you talk about, that you have a picture of, that had a hole in it. Tell me about the painting.
This painting is of a relative of mine.
It's a great painting, by the way.
Thank you. It's a village blacksmith. It's a family heirloom.
Tell me about the damage to the painting.
It is museum quality, and I discovered that it has a puncture and a rip or a tear in it, and the heavy gold relief frame had been broken off and damaged in it.
Was it hanging on the wall when you came home?
Yes.
But hanging on the wall damaged?
Yes.
Had it been damaged before Mr. Powell started to babysit for your house?
Not at all.
Nice suit.
Thank you.
Could you step up, sir? What is your name?
Barton Simpson.
Mr. Simpson, you're a neighbor of the Carters?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me what happened in the household while Mrs. Carter and her son were in Africa.
The first thing I noticed was the defendant's red car, because Miss Carter's car was gone, and it had the writing of a wax on it that would be indicative of the police impound lot in San Antonio. As time went by, the flowers started dying on the terrace and trash started piling up on the terrace. And then as more time went on, I started seeing Miss Carter's treasured dog running around the neighborhood. So I started making an effort to catch the dog and bring it back to the backyard. On the third occasion...
You mean the third occasion that the dog was...
The third occasion that the dog was running around the neighborhood, I took the dog home to find that the terrace door was wide open.
Okay. Did you go inside?
I looked in the door, I knocked on the door, I yelled for somebody inside. When I looked in the door, I noticed the back door was also wide open. So I walked in the house to release the dog into the house. I walked in to close the back door. The first thing I noticed was it looked like there had been an ongoing fraternity party in the house. There were electric guitars up on the couch. The tables were covered with booze. The ashtrays were overflowing with cigarettes and what looked like to me the burnt ends of reefer cigarettes in the ashtrays. It looked like there had been an ongoing mosh pit fraternity party, and there was a cat in the house and dog feces on the floor.
Thank you, sir.
He came by once to tell me that the dog was wandering around the neighborhood, and I didn't know who he was because I had never met him.
Mr. Powell, let me tell you that Mr. Simpson just related to me something that I believe, that he went into the house when you were not at home to return the dog to the house. You were not there. He described the inside of the house. That's all I want you to address, sir.
The inside of the house.
Yes. And I want you to bear in mind that I believe him.
Okay, I understand that. Well, when he came over to the house, if he saw beer cans, there were probably some beer cans. But that doesn't mean I drank her liquor or drank all this wine. I mean, there wasn't wine bottles. There was just empty beer cans, which I picked up, threw away, And
what about the dog feces that were there? Did you clean up?
That I cannot, no. There were no dog feces. This
no. I want you to bear in mind. I want you to bear in mind that I believe him.
Okay.
So if you didn't clean it up, it was there when she arrived home.
No, Your Honor. It was not there.
Well, then somebody cleaned it up.
I cleaned it up. If anything happened...
Oh, just a second. Well, you just said you didn't.
I was saying that I didn't his testimony is I don't agree with his testimony, even though you do.
Listen to me. I don't care whether you do or not.
The dog's 14 years old.
I'm telling you that I believe him. So if the dog messed in the house and you didn't clean it up, which is what you said at first, that means that she found it when she came home, unless you had Cinderella come and take care of the house at some point.
Your Honor, I took grounds to try to repair her brick wall. I tried to do as much cleaning as I could with the time that I had. Like she says, she's not exactly the most cleanest person in the first place. The house is very messy to begin with.
Who smokes? Do you?
I smoke cigarettes, yes I do.
Do you, Miss Carter?
No, Your Honor.
Who else lives in the house with you?
No one.
Cigarette ashtrays were brought from outside into the inside.
Oh,
that's why.
So unusual. People usually do just the opposite. Maybe when you graduate, you'll start doing it the other way. Most people take cigarettes and take them outside. So what you're telling me is you and your friends had cigarette smoke outside and all the dirty, disgusting cigarette butts, when you've finished smoking outside so you shouldn't smell the house, you brought them back inside.
They were cleaned and gathered in a pile, Your Honor.
No, just, you mean the cigarette butts were cleaned and gathered in a pile?
Let's call it an organized mess. Put everything together, throw it away, put it into the trash can, and take it out.
No, but it hadn't been thrown away, sir, because he came and he found it there.
At that particular date.
All right, I had enough. Miss Carter, listen to me. How much did it cost you to fix the painting?
About $1,000.
No, show me the bill. Come on, see the bill. I finished torturing Mr. Powell. Finished torturing him. You big slob, Mr. Powell. You took advantage of the situation. Make parties in your own condo. Don't make parties in somebody else's house. It's outrageous to treat somebody else's house with such disrespect. 27 years old. Your parents should be very proud of you. Very, very proud of you.
No
You're on the I'm speaking. You're on a 10-year plan. You'll never grow up. As long as somebody else is footing the bill, you're going to continue to be a big baby. How much did it cost you to clean up the house and to do any of the brickwork on the house?
The brickwork cost $1,285.
Clean up on the house.
I had a maid service for $40.
All right. How much did it cost you to fix the banister?
$135.
All right, it's $3,460. You better start waiting on a lot more tables and working a lot more than 30 hours a week. Do I make myself clear?
Yes, Your Honor.
Goodbye.
19-year-old Gabriel Chavarria says ex-girlfriend Erica Kallick owes for burning his clothes and punching him. Erica is countersuing, claiming Gabriel gave her a black eye.
Mr. Chavarria, the defendant is your former girlfriend, according to your complaint, after an argument at your sister's house. Is this your sister?
That is correct.
Miss Calic assaulted you, and later she burned some clothes that you had been laundering at her house. Miss Calic says she didn't burn your clothes, she doesn't know what you're talking about, but that you assaulted her during this altercation, and she is counterclaiming. Now, when did this altercation take place at your sister's house?
On October 7, 2005.
Tell me about it.
I was in the process of moving my clothing from my friend's house to my mom's house. So I asked Erica if I can do my laundry at her mom's house, and she said yeah.
Why didn't you do the laundry at your mother's house?
Because she doesn't have a washer and dryer.
Do you have a key to that house?
No.
How did you get in?
Her brother was there.
Who was this?
That's her brother.
Did you let him into the house?
No, he wasn't there. Like, I don't remember him letting him in.
Don't speak. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, and I did my laundry, and there's some things that I dry, and then there's other things that I hang up. So I hung up all my clothing in her closet.
You hung up wet clothes in her closet?
I hung up my jeans, some of my work shirts, a couple sweaters, and that's about it.
Go ahead.
So I went and picked her up at about 12:30.
Where did you pick her up from?
From school.
Where do you go to school?
At Spokane Community College.
What are you studying?
I'm going for administrative systems.
What time did he pick you up at school?
12:30.
And where did you go?
We went back to my house.
When you got back to your house, was his laundry dry or wet?
When he left him from his friend's house, they were still in his trunk. He never did laundry at my house. He was going to, but we ended up going to go look for apartments to live in.
How do you know they were in his trunk?
Because he had brought them from his friend Mike's house.
What I'm asking you, Miss Calic, is how do you know his clothes were in his trunk?
Okay, I don't know. I'm assuming that they were.
Fine. What did you go to your house for?
Because we went and got a paper, and we sat there at my house and like circled apartments and called and made appointments to go look at the apartments.
Where was your brother?
He was in his room.
Did you see him there?
Yes.
Did you go into his room?
Yes.
He didn't come out to you. You went into his room.
Well, not at this time. He was...
I'm just asking you a question.
No, I went into his room.
That's what I asked you. Next.
When we were looking for apartments, we went to one place, and we didn't really like it, so we decided to go to my sister's house, Clarissa. Me and Clarissa's ex-boyfriend went to the store, and when I came back, my friend Mike said Erica's in the room talking to her ex-boyfriend. So I went to listen on the phone to see if it was true, and she was on the phone
talking. Just a second. What do you mean you went to listen in on the
phone? I went into my sister's room to
And you picked up the extension?
Yeah.
That's pretty gross.
Okay. Then I went into the room and asked Erica why she was calling her ex-boyfriend, and then she said, "Why do you care?" And I was like, "Because I'm your boyfriend." I was like, "Would you want me to be calling my ex-girlfriend at one of your brother or sister's house and then be trying to hide it from my sisters like you're doing, like you're gonna go cheat on me or something?" Then she got up and she's like, "Oh, you're always so jealous," and she started cussing me out and screaming at me. Then I took the phone from her, and then that's
How
when
did you get the phone from her?
Because I told her to leave.
Well, so far, all I'm hearing is, and I said to her, how would you think you would feel if it were me talking to an ex-girlfriend at your brother's house? And I took the phone from her. Tell me how you took the phone from her, sir. The phone is in her hand, yes.
And then I grabbed the phone from her.
Okay, well, now we get to the grab part. Her hand, and what happened when you grabbed the phone from her hand?
I told her to leave my sister's house.
You grabbed the phone from her hand, did she pull back?
No.
She just gave you the phone?
She didn't give it to me. She tried to keep it in her hand.
Well, that's what I'm asking you. Pay careful attention. Life has a certain rhythm to it. There are certain natural things that happen. Yeah. And when you get to be my age, things become more natural. You know, if it doesn't make sense, it usually doesn't happen. So that she's talking to the ex-boyfriend on the phone. You go to grab the phone out of her hand. She pulls back. You pull back. So now you're in a struggle for the phone, right?
Correct.
And then what happened, sir?
So I had the phone in my hand.
How did you do that?
I took the phone from her hand.
You overpowered her.
That is correct.
And?
And then that's when she hit me in my temple and once in my nose. And then I pushed her. And during the whole thing, that's when my sister walked in and was trying to pull us away from each other. And so I was walking outside, and that's when Erica pulled me back in and was hitting me all over in my neck, in my chest, and my back. And then I hit her in the eye because it was for self-defense. I didn't know what else to do. I couldn't get away from her.
So the police came, and what happened when the police came?
Okay, before the police came, I was outside smoking a cigarette, and then Mercedes, Erica's daughter, came outside and asked me if I can give them a ride home. I said, yeah, and that's when Erica came barging outside and slammed the door open, and the door hit Mercedes in the face and gave her a bloody nose. And I was like, Erica, what are you doing? And then she said, look at my eye. And then I was like, look at my face, Erica, look at what you did. If you didn't hit me first, I wouldn't have to defend myself.
What injuries did you have on your face?
I had cuts and bruises above my eye, under my eye. I had a couple lumps on my head.
When the police came, did they arrest you?
No.
Did they arrest her?
No, because she wasn't there. She left before the police came.
Did you
can
file
I tell my part of the story? Because this...
I'm going to get to you.
Okay. Well, no.
I'm going to get to you.
Okay.
Does anybody have a copy of the police report?
No.
No.
According to the plaintiff, you had a prior incident involving domestic violence with him. Is that true?
Correct.
When was that?
June 2nd, 2005.
Were you taken into custody on that day?
Yes, I was.
How did you assault him?
I slapped him.
So that you're not a stranger to slapping him.
Oh, no. I've done it before.
What happened when he pulled the phone away from you?
He didn't even pull the phone away from me.
So tell me what happened when he came into the bedroom, which you acknowledged that he did.
Yes.
Came into the bedroom and you got into a heated argument about you're allegedly speaking to a former boyfriend.
I wasn't speaking to anybody. It was his friend Mike that was talking to my ex-boyfriend because they're friends, and they were going to go out to a party or something.
So you never got on the phone to say hello?
No,
okay.
Never.
So when he came inside and said, what's going on? Let me hear.
He stood up and, well, I stood up because I was on the... And
what were you doing sitting on the floor?
We were all sitting on the floor.
Who's all?
Me, his friend Mike, and his other sister.
You mean the two of you weren't alone in the room at the time?
Oh, no.
Go ahead.
And I stood up because he got on the other line and he heard my ex-boyfriend talking, but I wasn't speaking to him. So he came in and said that I was trying to call him, and it's just common sense that why I wouldn't call my ex-boyfriend at his sister's house. So I stood up and he was calling me all these names and pushed me, so I pushed him back and he hit me in the room. It wasn't in the living room or where he said it was. It was in the room, and I fell back on the bed and got up and then pushed him again, and we just kind of got in a fight, but I didn't punch him or slap him or anything. And then he had a scratch right here, and that was the only thing that he had. I have pictures.
Just a second. He had a scratch from what?
Well, I'm guessing I scratched him. I don't remember.
Well, you must have scratched him because according to you, all I heard was I pushed him.
No, and then we got into a fight. But I didn't punch him or anything, like you said.
You scratched him?
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah?
I guess.
Let me ask you this question, madam. If you scratched him and he just had a little scratch over here, you think that he overreacted by punching you in the eye?
Yes, I do.
That's too bad. If you put your hands on somebody and scratch them, give them a little scratch, sometimes you get, listen to me, sometimes you get the worst of the deal. Somebody's going to get the bad part of a bargain every time there's an altercation, a physical altercation. Somebody's going to get hurt a little bit more than another person. And just because you're the woman doesn't give you the right to put your hands on another person. And if you put your hands on another person, you hurt them a little bit, and they hurt you a lot, that comes under the category of too bad.
It was in self-defense, Your Honor.
Listen to me. Listen to me. That comes under the category of too bad. You can't scratch him and then say, well, I can scratch you, but you better not punch me in the eye. You better not give me a black eye. Now, when he gave you the black eye, were you angry?
Of course.
And then you went home with your daughter. Now, did you hurt your daughter that day?
No, I didn't. She got a bloody nose, but I did not do it.
Well, who did it?
I don't know.
That should have been your primary concern, not your black eye, how your 4-year-old daughter got a bloody nose.
It wasn't. That was not my concern.
Listen to me. Because according to him, he says he knows how your daughter got it. You came, you opened the door on her face, and that's how she got a bloody nose. Then you put her in the car and you took her home. When did you notice her bloody nose?
Right away, right when it happened.
Well, if you noticed it right when it happened, how did it happen?
Because my back was faced toward her, and then she started crying. I said, what happened? She goes, I got hit in the nose, and it was bleeding. That's the only thing. Then I grabbed her and walked downstairs and walked to my mom's work because he wouldn't give me a ride home.
Let me see an inventory, sir, about what you allege was in her house.
All my clothes were in her house, but I had to go and get new clothes. These are just the receipts of all my clothes that I had to buy. And here's a letter from my supervisor from all the scratches and cuts and welts on my head.
Listen to me. I believe she assaulted you. I believe that you hit her and gave her a black eye. Terrific. That's quite a way to behave in front of a 4-year-old. Put your hand down. You went in there angry. If I believe what you say, sir, if I believe what you say, which is different from what she says, you put your hands on her first, only by trying to take the phone away from her.
That is
You
correct.
struggled over the phone. You have no right to put your hands on anybody in an aggressive way. Put your hands on her in an aggressive way. If I believe you, I believe somewhere in between these two stories is the truth. But if you each wound up with a couple of scratches and a black eye, it sounds to me like you deserved each other. How do you know she burned your clothes?
My sister called her later that night and asked Erica how she was doing, if her eye was okay.
Up here. Tell me your last name.
Chavaria.
Did you speak to her later that day?
Yeah, I called.
Just a second. You called to ask her if her eye was okay?
Yes.
What did she say?
She said it was still black. It was still hurting.
And?
I asked her how her daughter's bloody nose was, and she said it was better. And I said, well, Erica, don't throw away his clothes. And she said, no, tell him I'm going to burn him and throw him away. I said, Erica, don't cause drama, because, and then she's like, no, and then she hung up on me.
Sit down. You had jeans, sweaters, work shirts. How many work shirts?
About 10.
Get out of here. Let
No,
me see
no,
the
when
bills
she
that you
called
have.
me-
Let me see the bills that you have.
Your Honor, can I say something?
Go ahead.
When she called me, she never asked about his clothes because his clothes were never at my house. She
Yes,
asked
they
me
were.
if I was okay. And I was like, yeah. I said, why are you going to call, now and ask me if I'm okay when she didn't try and do anything when he hit me?
What about when you hit him?
What do you mean?
Did she try to do anything when you hit him?
No. She tried breaking us up and saying, Gabriel, just stop, stop.
All the clothes that you purchased, sir, were $453. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $453. Your counterclaims dismissed. That's all.
Robert Burridge is suing his ex-fiancée, Carla Jones, for money loaned and forged checks. Carla is countersuing, claiming Robert made false accusations to her probation officer.
Mr. Burridge, Miss Jones used to be your living girlfriend,
She was my fiancée.
and according to your complaint, she owes you some money. First for a loan, for insurance, well over a year ago. And then you claim that at some point she forged some checks.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you claim she's got some of your personal property.
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Jones says none of them were loans. She did, in fact, sign your name to checks. You knew about that. You did not report those forged checks, according to you, when you found out about them. But you continued to live together as a couple. But when you broke up, you, according to you, called her parole officer. You're on parole for something?
I'm off now.
And you called her parole officer to report the forged checks. Is that right?
Yes.
Why'd you do that for?
Because she was forging checks while on parole, and
No, look at me, look at me.
it was a violation.
Let's get a timeline.
It's a violation.
Mr. Barish, listen to me. Don't interrupt me when I'm speaking.
Excuse me.
According to you, it was in October of 2004 that you found out that she had signed your name to some checks.
Yes.
How much in total were the checks that she signed?
$2,900.
And what were they for?
They were made out to her, signed by her, and cashed by her, and deposited to her account.
Okay. Now, when did you find out about these checks? So was that in October?
It was after she moved out in October.
So after you found out about these forged checks, how long did it take you to call her parole officer?
It took me until March of 2005.
Okay. Let's go. Checks, $2,900 worth.
No, nothing was stolen from him. No forged checks. We would pay our bills together. I would tally up how much utilities were or groceries, and I'd say, I need X amount of dollars. And he'd say, okay, go ahead and get a check, write it for that, deposit it in there, and pay the bills. And I'd
Deposit it where?
Into my checking account. I'd always call him at work, or he would be home when we did it, and he would say, go put that in your checking account and then pay the bills, because I
What
paid
are you
everything
on
online.
parole for? Anything to do with
I'm
checks?
not on parole. I was on probation.
Probation for anything having to do with checks?
No, it was for a DUI.
Oh. Okay. How long were you living together?
About 2.5 years.
Who paid the bills, sir?
The arrangement was that I paid the rent because it was a considerable amount of money, and she picked up the tab for the utilities and the food.
What precipitated your leaving in October of 2004?
Well, the relationship was kind of going sour, and in August of 2004, we had been going to some counseling to see if we could work through some of the issues. And I realized in my heart that it just wasn't going to work out for me, that I wasn't going to be able to go through with the relationship. And of course, he was very upset. And I told him at the end of the lease, which was November 1st of 2004, that I'd be moving out by then and getting my own place.
Robert Burrich says ex-fiancée Carla Jones stole money by forging his check, countersuing, claiming Robert made false accusations to her probation officer.
Okay. When for the first time, Ms. Jones, did the plaintiff confront you about these checks?
Towards the end of the year after I had moved out, we were still talking to each other, and he would come over sometimes on the weekends, and I just felt really sorry for him.
Just tell me what he said to you about the checks.
He called me on the phone close to Christmas. I said I didn't want to see him anymore. I said, I don't want you coming over anymore. I don't want to see you at all. It's done. I don't even want to be friends with you. And that's when he threatened he was going to go to the police station and tell them that I forged these checks while we were together. And I said, you know, that's a lie. How can you go tell a lie like that? And he says, I can say whatever I want. And then in March, I finally just told him, I said, I can't see you anymore. We're kind of seeing each other on and off, on and off. Well, he told me he was going to go to the police and do this. So I guess the next day, which was March 14th.
So the first time he spoke to you about it was in December of 2004.
Threatening to do this.
On what date did you contact her probation officer?
It was the 15th of March.
What happened between December and March, sir?
I was investigating
You already knew about it, and you confronted her with them, and if you had been concerned that she had forged your name to checks and you felt that it was the right thing to do to notify her probation officer, why didn't you do it in December or January or February?
I was hesitant. I wanted the relationship to go on. During the counseling sessions, the counselor asked me if I loved her, and I said yes, and the counselor asked her, did she love me? And she said she didn't know. And the counselor said, did you love him when you took that engagement ring? And she said, I don't know. And I wanted this relationship to last. It was very important to me. She was very important to me. And I figured that the less waves, the better the chances of the relationship working.
But it didn't work, sir.
It didn't, no, it didn't work.
It didn't work. And the response to it not working is not to behave in a retaliatory way.
That's right.
The response to it not working is say, you went to counseling, she didn't deceive you. She said, we'll go to counseling, we'll see if we can get it to work. And she was being honest. She said, I don't know my feelings. She wasn't trying to be hurtful. If she wanted to be hurtful, she wouldn't have gone to counseling with you.
She deceived me when she accepted the engagement ring.
No, you know, you're talking about there's hard evidence and then there's soft evidence. You know, the divorce rate in this country is 52%. Now, all of those people who divorce, when they sit back, you know, a year later, 6 months later, 5 years later, they say, gee, I wonder if I really loved him. I wonder if I really loved her when I walked down the aisle. You know, or was it something else? It was, you got to get married, or, you know, I fell in love with the beautiful face, or I fell in love with the bank account, whatever it was. Was it really him? I'm really not sure. You know, I really don't know in my heart anymore. That's what people say to themselves.
It was the bank account.
Well, it's all a package. You know, she's an attractive lady, right?
Yes, she is.
She's a very attractive lady, well-spoken. Do you think that if she was an unattractive lady and not well-spoken, you would have been attracted to her? No. You may have gotten to know her better and said, gee, she's got a wonderful soul. But what attracted you to her initially was she's a pretty lady, she seems intelligent, and she's well-spoken, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Part of your package is that you had some dough. That's it. You just have to accept that. And you know, I'm not such a genius that I figured this out myself, because Donald Trump's wife was interviewed recently, and they said to her, would you be married to him if he wasn't Donald Trump, if he wasn't who he is? And she said, you think he'd be married to me if I didn't look like this? Do yourself a big favor. Put a period. It didn't work out. You both gave it your best shot. You should not have called a probation officer. It was a nasty thing to do. And you should not have waited to see the result of this counseling before you decided that what she did was criminal, because then I find your motives suspect.
The reason we actually separated was in August. I told her that her drinking had become a problem, and if she didn't stop drinking, we were not going to renew the lease and live together.
But even after that, you went to counseling with her because, according to you, you loved her.
I did love her.
What I'm telling you is, it didn't work out. That's very sad. Looks like a nice guy. I hope you find another nice one.
She's engaged to another guy already.
Well, then you should look up and say, thank you, God, I didn't make a mistake. Right? Instead of suing her. The case is dismissed, sir. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Cassandra Arnold says her aunt, Anita Beam, won't return her living room furniture. Anita is countersuing, claiming Cassandra filed false charges with Child Protective Services.
Miss Arnold, the defendant is your aunt, and it is your claim that she has some furniture that belongs to you.
Yes.
In addition to that, you claim that she harassed you at a time when you were a tenant, along with your boyfriend?
My husband.
Your husband?
Yes.
Okay. When and why did you move in with your aunt, Miss Arnold?
I moved in with my aunt in February because I had no place to stay. I was living with my father at the time, and him and his girlfriend had split up, and I couldn't stay with my mom, so my aunt...
Just a second. So you were staying with your father his girlfriend.
Right.
In whose apartment?
It was his girlfriend's house.
And how long had you been staying with your father?
Since I was 13.
So you moved in with your father to his girlfriend's house?
Right.
When they split up, where did your father go?
He went to one of his friends' home, and the reason why I couldn't go with him is because I have a little 16-pound cockapoo, and they already have dogs. So my aunt agreed to let me move in with her. I could keep my dog, and I would pay her $200 a month.
All right, so you moved in February, $200 a month. Right. And then what happened?
Around June, my boyfriend started spending a lot of time with me at my house. My aunt and her boyfriend were having problems. Her boyfriend wasn't working, and he couldn't pay his bills. So my aunt asked us if we would like to move into her basement and pay her $600 a month for the basement, which would include everything in the house, utilities, food, everything. We agreed and moved down into the basement.
Okay. What was your boyfriend doing at the time?
He was working on roofing. He was a roofer.
Okay. That was in June?
Yes.
Keep going.
And in August, my car had broken down, and I couldn't get to him from school. So
I let you use my car.
Shh, shh, shh. Don't interrupt. You'll have a chance. Okay. Go ahead.
Up until the point I was able to buy a new car, my aunt let me use her car. In exchange, we replaced the gas and did oil changes on her car. Towards the end of August, I bought a car for $800 and was only able to pay her $300 of the rent that I owed her. I told her that when we got our next paycheck, we would be able to make up the difference. She agreed to that. About a week later, she served us with eviction papers and put a lock on the upstairs door so we were not able to go and use the kitchen or the upstairs bathroom.
Okay.
And after that is when everything started getting out of control. My aunt would come downstairs drunk and call us out of our names. She would tell us to get the out of her house, and at some point she would badger us so bad that we did have to leave, and on 3 occasions actually we had to call the cops on her because she wouldn't leave us alone.
I don't get to the furniture. Somehow in your whole complaint you're talking about furniture, and you didn't tell me anything about the furniture.
The furniture, when we made the decision to move down into the basement, I had all of my belongings in storage.
What belongings did you have?
I had the furniture in storage.
What furniture?
The living room furniture. It was living room furniture. It was a 5-piece sectional couch and 2 antique parquet tables.
When had you purchased the 5-piece sectional?
The 5-piece sectional couch was purchased in Maryland.
By whom?
Me and my father. And when I moved out of his house, and I tried to go on my own at first, and I got my own place, and he gave me the furniture back. We put it in there, and then when it didn't work out in my own place, I put
Why didn't it work out in your own place?
Just jobs and bills and just being young and buying stupid stuff and not really paying attention to what's going on. So it didn't work out, and I moved back into my father's house.
And you put the furniture in storage?
Yes.
How did your aunt get it in her house?
My aunt was complaining because she says that her furniture embarrassed her. She had really not too nice furniture in her house. So I agreed to put the furniture in her house until I moved out.
Okay. All right, Miss Beam, let's get to the furniture first.
Well, I got rid of 2 complete sets of furniture to accommodate her furniture.
Why would you do that?
Because she could not afford to keep it in storage and pay me.
Listen, you don't get rid of wonderful furniture that
I didn't say it was the best.
All right. So her story has a ring of truth to it, Miss Beam, that you didn't like your furniture, that it was old.
Yeah, it was old, yes.
Okay.
And after she was there for a while, then she stated how she was going to give that to me because when she moved out, her and Travis were going to start fresh.
When she first put it in your house.
Yes.
She put it in your house, and she said to you, use it for as long as you like while I'm here. Is that right?
Yes.
And you say sometime later she told you you keep it.
That's right.
When later?
I would say it was in the end of June.
The end of June?
Yeah, because that's when her car started breaking down and she started to need my car to get back and forth to work on a daily basis.
Okay. Now, Miss Beam, your counterclaim alleges that Miss Arnold called Child Protective Services on you, and she acknowledges that she did.
Yes.
How old is your child?
10.
Boy or a girl?
Boy.
Who is this person who's here with you?
It's my brother.
Does he live with you?
No, but he takes care of my son in the morning before he goes to school.
Tell me your name.
Bernard Homan,
How far do you live from your sister, Mr. Homan?
between 3 and 4 miles.
Did you ever know your sister to have a drinking problem? Look at me. Did you ever know your sister to have a drinking problem?
No, I wouldn't say a problem, no.
What would you say, sir? And I want you to make sure you answer, because, you know, I know everything.
I understand.
So I want you to give me an answer.
She has more liquor bottles in her house than I do.
Have you ever seen your sister intoxicated?
In
Look
the
at me.
past, I have, yeah.
When was the last time you saw your sister intoxicated?
Probably over a year.
Where?
It was at a party.
Family party?
It was.
Did you ever have any concern about your sister and her drinking? Look at me. Don't look down. You see, that's a sign, sir.
Okay.
That's a sign. Did you ever have any concern about your sister and drinking?
No.
You should.
Why should he?
Because, I'm going to answer your question. Because people who abuse alcohol...
What makes you think I'm abusing?
Shh, listen to me. Listen to me. You ask me a question, I'm going to try to answer you.
Okay.
People who abuse alcohol have an affect. And when you've been involved in the court system for as long as I have, you develop an uncanny ability to be able to tell people by their affect who have, in the past or currently, abused either drugs or alcohol. And I'm going to tell you that you are not going to be able to convince me, especially after I listen to Brother, that you do not have an alcohol problem.
You're going to go by what two vindictive teenagers say about me?
Listen to me. No, has nothing to do with what they said about you.
Well, it
you
seems
weren't
like it
listening.
does.
You weren't listening to me.
Judge, you asked me if I thought she had a drinking problem. Exactly what would be your definition of a drinking problem? Perhaps mine and yours are different.
Aren't different, sir. Yours and mine are exactly the same. Miss Bean, listen to me. There are two things that I have to determine in this lawsuit. One, whether or not you are responsible for the furniture. And I find that the furniture was not given to you as a gift, that the furniture was given to you by this young lady to use, and that since I have no indication that this furniture is going to be returned in reasonable condition, and since she doesn't have a bill, and since it's a 5-piece sectional, I'm ascribing to this used furniture, which was used when she put it in your house, the whole kit and caboodle, not $5,000, $800. Then I have to...
She told me she only paid $250 from a crackhead for it.
Listen to me. Then I have to look at your counterclaim. The plaintiff acknowledges she called Child Protective Services.
Uh-huh.
So there's no issue that she did. I believe that she did, at least in part, because of the bad blood that developed towards the end of her tenancy with you. Whether I find, by just a little bit more evidence, that there was some basis for her to call is the issue. And I don't want to go into, after the boyfriend moved out, whether you started to drink more.
It's not my boyfriend, it's my son's father.
Just 1 second. Did he live with you?
Yes, he did.
Okay. He wasn't your husband?
No.
Well, then how would you introduce him to people?
My son's father.
You would say, I'm living with my son's father?
Yep.
Not your boyfriend, not your fiancé?
No, I don't call a man that's 52 years old a boy.
Got it? Got it. Okay. Miss Arnold, what you said in your complaint was that as soon as you moved in, you realized that your aunt had a drinking problem and got nasty when she drank.
Yes.
But that happened as soon as you moved in.
It did.
In February. You didn't report it in February.
I had no place to
You
go.
didn't I don't care whether you had no place to go or not. The issue in calling Child Protective Services is not whether you had a place to go. You're a grown-up. You called Child Protective Services after the eviction to get even. And if you were legitimately interested in the welfare of your 10-year-old cousin, you would have called Child Protective Services in February or March or April.
I was more interested in it now because after her boyfriend left, she started going really, really downhill. She started bringing strange men home. She started staying out all nights.
Listen to me. I'm dismissing your counterclaim, Ms. Beam. I find that there was, in all probability, justification for her making a report to Child Protective Services, irrespective of what her motives were. I am not directing you to return this sofa, sectionals, and 2 tables to her because I'm not sure what kind of condition they'd be in when they got back to her. And I am ruling in her favor in the amount of $800 for that furniture. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $800. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
20-year-old Catherine Gonzalez is suing her ex-boyfriend, 20-year-old exterminator Zachary Finney, for breaking their apartment lease and for a loan to have his teeth fixed.
So you 2 people, when you were under 20, decided to take up housekeeping together, according to what I read in your complaint, and you leased an apartment. At the time you leased this apartment together, were you working?
Yes, I was working.
And how much did you earn a week?
I got $9 an hour. I'd get like about $400 or $500 every 2 weeks.
Well, is it $400 every 2 weeks or $500 every 2 weeks?
The months differed, but I know in December when we moved in, I made $1,083.10 in December.
In December. Did you work overtime for Christmas during that time?
I worked a little bit more hours, but...
Okay. So let's say you made $500 every 2 weeks.
Yes.
Okay? And you, what kind of work were you doing?
I was a mover, and I made about, say, $350 every week.
So you made about $1,400
Yes, ma'am.
a month. And what kind of an apartment did you rent?
A 1-bedroom.
How much was the rent?
$530.
When did you sign the lease?
We signed it in November, but it began December 1st, 2004.
And it was a 6-month lease?
It was a 1-year lease.
How long did you live there?
I lived there until June.
So you lived there for 6 months?
Yes.
And then you moved out?
Yes.
How long did you live there?
I lived there until September 30th of this year.
So you stayed on an extra 3 months?
I'd say almost 4.
Did you pay the rent for the 4 months that you lived there?
Yes.
They're coming after you for the 2 months rent that remains on the lease after he moved out?
Yes, 2 months. He didn't pay rent.
You want him to pay those 2 months?
Yes. And also, he had porcelain veneers put on before we moved into the apartment even. And he promised he would pay me back for those when we went to Mexico to get his porcelain veneers.
How long ago was that?
That was last fall. So
a year ago?
Yes, a year ago.
Forget about it. I'm not interested in something that happened a year ago. Then you moved in together, you pulled money. Did you have a joint bank account?
Yes.
Or no?
Yes.
Yeah. Get over it, Ms. Gonzalez. Okay. Now, why do you think that he should be responsible solely for the last 2 months' rent? You moved out in June.
He promised me he would stay there until the lease was over. I told him, you know, he didn't want to live with his parents. I said, you don't have to worry. I won't ever make you live back with your parents. As long as you stay there, you can stay there. I trust you. And he promised that he would stay there until the lease was up.
Well, didn't you promise him you were going to stay there until the lease was up when you signed the lease with him?
Yes, but until he asked me to leave, then...
He asked you to leave, why?
There was a lot of reasons. I could have left before. I stayed there to help him pay rent, and really that was the only thing I was staying for towards the end. And the moment he told me that I could leave, I was happy. He said, please leave, and I said, okay.
Because he was making everybody's life miserable.
Yes. He was...
Well, but I still don't get your position that it was okay for you to leave and stick him with the rent, but it's not okay for him to leave and stick you with the rent, or at least half of it.
I would have stayed there, but he told me that I could leave.
Miss Gonzalez, stop being a baby. 2 20-year-olds, if they're not getting along, don't stay with each other. That's why police come to houses, because people get hot-tempered and nasty stuff that goes on in people's homes when they're not getting along. So you left.
Yeah.
And he paid the rent.
Yeah, he paid the rent.
So?
So, and he should have continued to pay it until December. Also, he signed...
You should have continued to pay it after you left in June. Where did you go?
I went to live with my dad. And...
Well, if you went to live with your dad, then you had plenty of money. You should have given him
No,
half
I did
the
not
rent.
have plenty of money. I had bills.
Listen to me. You should have given him half the rent. Said, I'm leaving. Too bad it didn't work out. We shouldn't live together. I'll give you half the rent.
I have a piece of paper, though, that says he owes me $800 per month for rent and expenses, regardless of whether we're living. It doesn't say not if Zach doesn't live there. It doesn't say any conditions on it. And so that was my guarantee that he would stay there and pay the rent, because he signed a piece of paper saying that he would.
Let me see it. I, Zachary Finney, will give $800 a month for rent or other reasons to Catherine Gonzalez for a period of 1 year from December 1st, 04 to December 1st, 05. What does that mean, sir?
To get the apartment that we moved into, I had a lease that I had prior to living there with my roommates. I had an apartment with them. I moved out, and my other roommate was supposed to take that over. He left, and that went on my credit, so I couldn't get approved. The reason I did that is the apartments asked me to do it so we could get approved to move in there. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to move in there.
So this wasn't for her.
It was to get us approved to live there.
Is that right? Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
All right, give this back to her. All right, now why are they just going after you for the last 2 months of this rent, Miss Gonzalez?
Because my name was on the lease.
So he's not even liable on the lease?
No, but this piece of paper was my guarantee that he would not...
That wasn't your guarantee. That's not the reason it was signed. And so the rent is $530 a month?
Yes.
Did you give them notice you were moving out, sir?
No, I did not.
Why not?
I've been paying the rent ever since she moved out. It's September. We had a hurricane hit Louisiana, Katrina, and a hurricane that was going to hit Houston, Rita. Well, I'm an exterminator, and my customers started canceling, and I work off commission. If I don't work, I don't get paid. And I was out of work probably almost 2 weeks, I would say. I asked her for help, and she kept giving me a runaround about why she couldn't help me, so I just left. I wasn't going to stay there.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
Okay.
Well, in any event, you did have an agreement, and your agreement was each of you would pay half the rent. Is that your agreement when you
Yes.
moved in? And if there were 2 months left remaining on the lease, that means that each of you would be responsible for $530. Is that right?
Yes.
Well, you think it's fair, Mr. Finney, that you pay $530?
No, I don't.
Well, it is. It is, sir. You paid for the 4 months rent in the apartment, but you lived in the apartment for 4 months.
Yes.
And from what I gather from Miss Gonzalez, it was by mutual understanding that you left. She wasn't happy there. You weren't happy with her there. She was more than happy to leave. Is that right?
Yes.
Well, I think it's reasonable that each of you is responsible for the last 2 months that remain on this lease. And next time you decide to set up housekeeping with somebody, you better make sure it's somebody that's going to either stick it out with you, or if they're not going to stick it out with you, then you can afford to pay the rent by yourself. Do you understand?
Yes.
It's not his responsibility to pay this entire amount, nor is it yours. Anyway, judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $530. That's all.
Jessica Eveler says her half-sister, Melanie Zampino, stole furniture during tenancy in her home. Jessica claims she kicked Melanie out because she was using drugs.
Miss Eveler, the defendant is your half-sister, and according to what I read, you only recently, in the last few years, had a relationship with each other.
Yes.
According to your complaint, you rented a home that you own to your sister with the understanding that she would have an option to buy it after she paid rent for a while.
Yes.
Subsequently, within a relatively short period of time after she moved in, you evicted her. But your lawsuit wants your furniture back. And you say when you left some furniture in the basement that was yours. You allowed her to use some furniture, but when she moved out, she took your things. The defendant says that you gave her a living room set, that the bedroom furniture that you claim you want back was actually repossessed by the company that you had rented it from, so she doesn't have that. And she is counterclaiming because she says that because of your precipitous behavior, which was not warranted by anything she did, she was forced to move. She had moving expenses. She was forced to move very quickly, and she wants to be compensated for that and all of her emotional distress. When did you lease her your house?
It was in July.
And when did you evict her?
I gave her notice September 10th.
Had she paid rent in August?
Yes.
Had she paid rent in September?
No.
Why did you evict her?
There was drug usage going on, and I only agreed to 4 people living in the house.
How did you know there was drug use going on in the house?
August 24th, my uncle had came there, and they smoked it right in front of him.
Smoked what?
Pot.
Who did?
Melanie and a guy named by the name of Brandon.
You agreed, you said, for 4 people to live in the house?
Yes.
Who were the 4 people?
Her, Christina New Church, which is right over there, and their...
Is this a friend?
It's my roommate. We've lived together for 9 years.
Okay.
And they have each 1 child.
How many people were living there?
Between 7 and 8.
Who else was living there?
I got 2 people that were not even residing there, a piece of mail of theirs.
Can I see?
Mm-hmm.
Who's Brandon?
My cousin. He did not live there. He stayed there occasionally during the week because Christina works third shift, and he tended the kids. I did pay him.
Where did he live otherwise?
He lived with his father.
Was Joseph?
My husband. Some of my utilities were in his name. My husband and I have been separated for...
Tell me about the furniture.
We did have a verbal agreement about the living room set. If she purchased the home, it would be added in with the cost of the house. However, she didn't buy the house, so the furniture didn't come with the house. And I did try to call her.
Go ahead. Let's deal with the living room furniture first.
Okay. When we discussed the house, she said to me, you can have my washer and dryer, you can have my living room set, you can have the bedroom set if you pay the last $150 to Color Time where she was renting her bedroom set from. I said, I have an antique set, I don't want the bedroom set, but I will take the living room set because mine is used. The living room set was stained with marker. One of her children must have wrote on it. Her husband works on cars. There's massive grease marks on the one where he must have sat regularly, which I have all pictures to show. She gave me the living room set. She never said if you purchase the home or if we don't come back, because when she actually on September 10th asked me to move out, she told me it was because her grandmother threw her out of the house that she was staying in South Carolina. I do not use drugs, and I'm
Can I see a picture of this living room set that she wants back?
Of just the living room set in question?
Mm-hmm.
Because I did bring pictures of my old living room set just to show you why I would switch.
You're talking about the sofas and the end tables as well?
And the coffee table. And I did attempt to take pictures of the markings.
Well, when I left, there might have been a little bit of like grease stains, but there was no marker on my living room set. It was only...
When did you purchase it?
February of 2 years ago.
You have a receipt for it?
Mm-hmm.
Can I see it, please? And who lived in the house with you?
My husband and my 2 children.
How old are your children?
1 and 2.
This doesn't tell me when you purchased it. Take that, please, return that to her. I don't know what this furniture looked like when you left, but certainly a month later, it looks pretty used and pretty abused to me. And when you have 2 young children, that's what furniture like this looks like. Certainly not worth much. You'd have to pay somebody to take it out. You would. You'd have to pay somebody to take out these 2 sofas. What's next? What about the bedroom's furniture?
I purchased that, and I actually have the original bill. And when I got into my house in late September, I came to clean it up and stuff. The bed was set up, but it was sliced. The bed was set up in the basement like someone had been sleeping there.
So what are you talking about, just the mattress?
The mattress and the headboard was damaged, and I have pictures of that.
Who slept on the mattress?
When we lived there, me and my husband.
When I lived there, no one. I had my own set.
Fine. Did you slice the mattress?
I did not. I also have a letter from Color Time stating that they repossessed her bedroom furniture that she left in the basement.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about the mattress.
Oh.
And they took the dressers, by the way, because I had asked them to take the dressers.
We're not talking about a whole bunch of money. I mean, we're certainly not talking about $3,500. Maybe we're talking about $100. I'm just trying to figure out why we're all here.
I'd like to make a statement on that.
Go ahead.
Judge Judy, because I feel that we're here for the same reason that Jessica, the only time she ever interacts with me is when there's trouble to be made. When she needs something, she'll call me. When she needs a babysitter, she'll call me. I actually paid money to find her because I wanted to know my sister. And the only thing that's coming out of this, no matter how you look at it, is a destroyed relationship.
That's unfortunate. When did she tell you to move?
September 10th.
And when did you move?
She gave me until September 28th when she started calling the law and having her stepfather threaten to put me out the quote-unquote old-fashioned way.
Did anything happen September 10th that precipitated this?
No.
I basically had coming back to Pennsylvania. My grandma her name's on the house also, so she had a decision to make, and she made that.
That doesn't give me an answer. That's a lot of double talk. You were coming back to live there, is that right?
Yes.
All right, so you were coming back to live there, so you told her to move.
Yes, well, the drug usage was the reason why.
No, no, because if the drug usage was the reason why, you would have told her to move on August 24th or August 25th. You didn't. Or the 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. You told her to move on September 10th because you had to come back to your house. So stop making up excuses. You get it?
Yes.
And you had a responsibility to give her 30 days notice. You didn't do that.
In that town, you only have to legally give 10 days.
Because you're not allowed to legally rent without a renter's permit, and she didn't have one.
Not nice. Okay. So you get nothing. Not even the $100 that maybe your mattress is worth if it was destroyed, and maybe your coffee tables were worth. because what you did was the wrong thing, because they're living there with, let's say, 4 people, including 2 children. 2 children who by September 10th have started school, have settled in, and because you can't live where you were going to live and had to come home, you told them to move and gave them what I consider no notice. Not even the right thing to do to a stranger, but to do to somebody who's related to you? Outrageous. Now, where did you move?
I live in Dover. I'd like not to say exactly where because I don't...
Fine. Did you pay her September's rent?
I did. I have that here.
Can I see it, please?
Then she didn't pay August. She paid 1 month.
How many months' rent did you pay?
I only paid September because when she moved, I was supposed to move in September 1st. When she moved, she had gone down to South Carolina and came back. There was some, like, flooding. People were messing around with her house. She said, Melanie, please just move in as soon as possible. I had to clean up as well.
Just a second. When did you move in?
Mid-July.
Well, then you should have paid 2 months' rent. You only paid 1. You saved a little bit of money so that you had enough money to put down on another apartment. I'm gonna entertain.
Yes, the only problem that I had was just finding something. I mean, we moved, we
And you
lived
found
just fine.
something?
Yes.
That's good.
Can I say something, Matt? The electric and gas was shut off September 22nd. When my grandfather went the 26th, everything was moldy, the freezer, everything. So they were out for a
Listen to
while.
me very carefully. You did the wrong thing. You wanted to move back to your house. You wanted her out. It had nothing to do with drugs or other people living there. It had to do with you coming home because you had no place else to live. So I don't know why you're suing her, because the truth of the matter is, if you hadn't brought this lawsuit, she wouldn't have counterclaimed. She was willing to forget it.
Yes, I redid
Forget
an
it.
entire
It's over.
room.
It's over. You did the wrong thing. You owe an apology, not a lawsuit. Case is dismissed. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
22-year-old daycare provider Melanie Bartlett is suing former client Thomas Jones for unpaid daycare fees and late charges. Thomas says Melanie left his son in the care of a certified schizophrenic.
Miss Bartlett, you run a daycare service, is that right?
Yes, I do.
And Mr. Jones had 1 child,
Yes.
a little boy,
Yes, ma'am.
enrolled in your daycare. Is your claim that he took the child out of daycare without giving you notice, that he owes you for a certain period of time that the child was there when he didn't pay, and he also owes you for a whole bunch of late fees because he took the child out without notice? Mr. Jones says that he owes you some money for the daycare.
That's correct, Your Honor.
It is his claim that he had good cause to remove his son from your daycare because you were not properly caring for him.
That is not true, Your Honor.
So let's resolve what we can resolve, and then we'll get on to what's in dispute. How much money, Mr. Jones, do you owe her for the time your son, who was how old at the time?
14 and a half, 15 months, Your Honor.
How much do you owe Miss Bartlett for the time she did, in fact, care for him?
Approximately 2 weeks, Your Honor.
Okay.
That's
And
untrue. He paid me the first week, and then after that, I had no other payment from him.
Well, I'm trying to recall. First weeks were paid in full. The second week, I received partial payment. That's what you said.
$45.
Well,
Yes.
but you have to add that.
Yes.
So we paid you partially.
Yes.
For the second week. So each week was how much? Ms. Park?
$160. And the late fees are $10.
Just a second. $435 is what you owe her for the time your son was there and you didn't pay.
That's correct, ma'am.
Now let's get to termination fee and all of that stuff. Miss Bartlett, how many children do you take care of?
I just started my daycare, so I was in the process of getting my license, and he was my first customer.
Were you licensed at the time?
No. I made him aware of that. I have the paperwork that I was in the process of getting the license, and
That's
I made him
untrue, Your
aware
Honor.
of that when he enrolled his son.
At the time you took care of him, you were not a licensed daycare provider. Is
No.
that what you're telling me?
I was in the process of getting the license. It was just paperwork.
At the time you
No.
took care of his son, you were not a licensed daycare provider.
No.
Did you know that?
No, ma'am.
How did you locate her?
Through the internet.
Do you have a copy of the ad?
Unfortunately, I do not, Your Honor.
I do.
Let me see it, please. Oh, well, this is deceptive, Miss Bartlett. Melanie Bartlett, that's you. License number upon request.
The only choice was to put in a license number or to say upon request. And I was in
No, the
process.
choice is I don't have one. That's your choice. When I say it's deceptive, it says upon request. Upon request means I have one, and I'll give it to you if you ask me for it. So that's deceptive. Now let me see the contract that he signed. In the contract, do you say that you are not licensed?
I didn't mention anything about being licensed or not licensed in the contract, no.
Well, then that's deceptive, Miss Bartlett. That's one thing. Got to ask questions.
Yes.
Better questions when you're turning over the most precious commodity that you have to somebody that you don't know. Your license, check to make sure it's a valid license with the state. You know how to do that now?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
All right. The most egregious thing, if it's true, is he removed the child from your care during the second week in October. Is that right?
Approximately that, yes, ma'am.
And on October 7th, according to you, something happened. Want to tell me what happened?
I was informed by Melanie that she was going to a funeral. She asked if she could take my son to this funeral. She told me her mother would be going to watch my son.
That is untrue.
I don't want to hear.
I agreed to this, and I later found out that my son was left in the care of someone who was not qualified, alone in a car with him for, I don't know how long, maybe 20, 30 minutes. This individual happens to be a state-diagnosed schizophrenic, and,
That's what you wrote.
And I'm very fortunate that nothing happened to my son, that this wasn't a point where, something went wrong.
And after that, you took him out.
Yes, ma'am.
Go.
He knew the day before. My ex-boyfriend was doing work with him, and he informed him of the funeral that I would be attending. He brought it up as soon as he came to pick up his child that day, and I told him I had a friend who could watch his son, and I told him it was the friend he was referring to, who happens to be schizophrenic.
That's not true.
And
Listen
he said
to me.
that there was nothing wrong.
Listen to me. You have to skip a funeral. You have a job.
I know.
Listen to me. Did you leave this child in a car?
Yes.
Wrong. You don't do that.
I left him in there with my friend. The air conditioning was on, and it was
Listen to me. That's not your job. You have one job when you take care of a 14-month-old baby.
He
and
didn't
it's not
say
to go.
anything that
I'm
he didn't want
speaking
him
to
to
you.
go.
And it's not to go to a funeral. And it's not to leave a baby in a car. And it's not to leave a baby in a car with someone who was on disability for a psychiatric illness. Because according to what you said in your statement, because you anticipated what he was going to say, I was attending a funeral for my ex-boyfriend's family member. I left Jacob asleep in the car for a total of 10 minutes with a good friend. He is a schizophrenic, but he's been on his medication. Did they give you a license?
Yes.
That's a big mistake.
I would trust him with my own 9-month-old daughter. and
That's
he's watched
your
her on several
prerogative.
occasions.
Listen to me. That is your prerogative. You can trust him with your 9-month-old if you wish. You cannot trust him with somebody else's 9-year-old. Do I make myself clear?
Yes.
So you don't get termination fees or late fees or any other fees.
He knew the day before that...
Listen, I don't care what he knew. There is no way that you're going to tell me that you told him that you were going to leave his son in a car with a diagnosed schizophrenic but who's taking his medication. I don't believe that you told him all of that.
My mother was there when I told him that.
I wouldn't believe you if you told me or your mother told me that. What I am going to give you is the money that he owes you for the time that he used your services.
It's written in the contract about the late fees. He gave me no notice. I had no
I
indication.
wouldn't give you a second notice.
I had no idea he was not going to bring his son back to me.
Listen to me. I don't care whether you knew or not. You're not getting it. Maybe your mother can explain it to you. Maybe the state where you live will listen. Because after what I said to you, if you still think that it was appropriate to leave a child in the care of a diagnosed schizophrenic who receives disability, that speaks to your judgment in caring for infants ages 0 to 2, which is what you wouldn't let you take care of a guppy age 0 to 2. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $435, and you're lucky you're getting it. That's all.
Maggie O'Miller claims Teresa Chaidez is in possession of a ring belonging to her. Teresa is countersuing, claiming Maggie embarrassed her at her place of business.
Miss O'Miller, it is your claim that the defendants are in possession of a ring that is yours.
That's right, Your Honor.
And it is a ring that left your possession at some point. You don't know how, you don't know when, but you saw Miss Chaidez?
Chaidez, yeah.
Chaidez wearing the ring in a store. She was employed in the store. You looked at the ring, and since you say it was a unique ring made for you, you were sure that it was yours. You told her it was yours. You went and got the police. They came back. She said her boyfriend or fiancé had given her the ring several years before. This is the fiancé, Mr. Tapia, who says that he purchased the ring, that he paid $1,000 for it, and you want your ring back or money.
I want the ring.
When did you have the ring made?
In 1991.
By whom?
By Creations in Gold up in Seattle, Washington, and this is the jeweler and her husband that made my ring.
Well, who made the ring? This lady or her husband?
Her husband, and he's since deceased.
All right. Did you work with him?
Yes, we had a store together.
Were you the designer or was he the designer?
I was the designer mostly. He did the fabrication.
Stand up. Did you personally do it or did your husband do it?
We both did.
And you remember this particular ring 15 years later?
Yes, I do.
Where did you get the model from for the ring?
It was our design. My husband made
Can I see the ring, please?
Ring for me first.
What do you mean he made it for you first?
A ring like it.
Just a second. He made a ring for you like this first?
Yes.
And then he made another one for Miss O'Miller?
Yes.
Was she a friend of yours?
We met in a restaurant and she approached me and said, "May I look at your ring?" And I said, "Yes." And then she asked, I said, "My husband and I have the store." And then she came to the store.
Where's the one that your husband made for you?
Right here.
Let me see it.
Yes.
Do you want another one that he made? These were made together at the same time.
I just want to see the one that he made for her. Well, these are practically identical.
Yes.
Except the gold is different. Yours is heavier. One that she says is hers is lighter. Practically identical. And your husband, did he surprise you with this? Is my question. Did your husband surprise you with this ring?
Yes, he did.
So that you are not telling me the truth. What's your last name?
Grenzner.
You are not telling me the truth when you say that you designed it with him. Because these rings are practically identical. And if what you're telling me is that your husband surprised you...
Surprised me?
Listen to me. Surprised you with your ring, that means that you didn't design it. That means he designed it.
We designed it, but he surprised me, and I got the ring for Christmas. Yes, he surprised me with the ring, but not with the design. That is the truth.
Madam, that's a lot of double talk.
No.
If your husband surprised you with the ring, that means that he designed it and gave it to you as a surprise. A husband doesn't say, "I want to surprise you with a ring. Let's sit down and you design it, and then it's going to be a surprise." Husband says, "I'm going to surprise my wife for Christmas and give her a ring," which he designed. And then when she came in and wanted a ring similar to yours, two of you may have gotten together and say, "Well, we can make a ring very similar to mine." It's not exactly the same because this is more weight. This is less weight than yours. You understand that. But you did not design it. Sit down.
Can I show you one that he designed to go with that ring?
No, it's not necessary.
Okay.
Not necessary. There's nothing unique about this ring. You've been around jewelry as long as I've been around jewelry. This is, may not be exactly the same, but it's not unique. Now, when was the last time, Miss O'Miller, when was it that you actually saw your ring that either is this ring or is similar to this ring?
Approximately about 3 years ago.
Where did you see it 3 years ago?
In my home.
When did you first miss your ring?
Probably about a week after I'd moved.
Which was when?
3 years ago.
Do you have a police report?
I never made a police report because I didn't know at the time it was lost or stolen. I just thought I'd misplaced it, so I didn't call.
Well, maybe you lost it. Is that possible?
Possible.
Did you have a moving company move you?
It was a small moving company that had moved.
So the answer is that you had a moving company move you.
Right.
So 3 years ago, you did not make a report of any stolen property.
Correct.
So you did nothing.
Nope.
Now, where did you buy this ring, Mr. Tapia?
In Indio, California.
Where?
At a pawn shop.
Had you ever been to that pawn shop before?
No, it was my first time there.
Do you remember who you dealt with there?
No, I just remember taking my grandmother with me, and it was $1,000, so I asked her to loan me $500 of it.
You gave him $500?
Yes, I loaned him $500.
Did he ever pay you back?
Yes, he paid me $100 a month for 5 months.
Okay. So?
So I believe that's my ring. I could tell by the flat back. That was one of his trademarks. It's like the one I have now.
Miss O'Miller, this is a legal issue. If I believe Mr. Tapia that he purchased this ring at a store for $1,000, he becomes what we call in the law a purchaser in due course for value, which means this ring is probably worth no more than $1,000. It has very tiny stones. Doesn't have the, I don't know how much you paid for it.
$3,000.
Well, you overpaid. You can give this back to her. Let us say you lost the ring. Let us say somebody else found the ring and brought it to the pawn shop. In commerce, there's a rationale behind this rule. In commerce, unless you're dealing with a car or a boat or a house, which has to be in writing, if you purchase something and if you purchase it for value, you get the title to it. Now, if Mr. Tapia bought this ring on the street for $50, then he is not a purchaser in due course for value. Then he is on notice that this may be a stolen ring, because nobody sells a ring that's worth $1,000 for $50 unless it's stolen goods. But I believe him, and I believe his grandmother, that they paid $1,000 for this ring. That doesn't mean you get it back.
First of all, his name was not Topia when I was going through all this. His name was Estrada. Then I got a phone call from a man claiming to be a lawyer representing Mr. Estrada. The man that subpoenaed these people with their warrants talked to the lawyer that he's...
Just what kind of warrants? What are you talking about, warrants?
Well, you know, when you go and form... How do I say it?
You went to her place of business where she works as a salesperson. You saw the ring. You said, let me see the ring. She showed you the ring. You said, where did you get it? She said, my boyfriend gave it to me. It's an engagement ring. You said, I have a ring like that. I think it's mine. She said, no, it's mine. You left. You went to the police. You brought the police back to her place of employment because that's her counterclaim, that you embarrassed her. Okay, so now we're at a point where you brought the police back to her place of employment and you said, that's my ring, and it must have been stolen. Is that what you said?
No.
What did you say?
I went home, called the police, and said I saw my ring on her finger at Mathis Brothers.
Okay.
The police lady said, he'll meet you in 15 minutes over at Mathis Brothers.
So then you went to Mathis Brothers, and she was there, and she said, it's my ring.
Can I say something? The officer did say it was stolen, that she said it was stolen. But in front of me, she said it was lost.
So far, I haven't heard any libel, slander, or defamation. She didn't accuse you of stealing it.
Well, when she brought the cops...
You were embarrassed.
I was embarrassed.
You were embarrassed, but that, you know, that's unfortunate. But she's entitled to do that. She said, it's my property. I want it back. Okay, so...
Then I talked to him, and he said, well, for $1,000. He said, it's probably a ring, and for $1,000 you could have it back. And I said, why should I buy something back that's mine, that I feel is mine?
Is that what you said to her?
No, I said that I bought the ring for $1,000, and if she wanted it, she'd have to pay me $1,000, which what I paid.
Is that what he said to you? Well, that's different from what you just told me, Miss O'Miller.
What did I just say that's so different?
You can have it back for $1,000. That's different from saying I paid $1,000 for it, and if you say it's yours, I'm willing to give it back to you, but you have to pay me what I paid for it. That's different. One has a positive connotation and one has a negative connotation.
I can see how you said it just then, yes, I can.
No, see how you said it.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
I'd like to know why all of a sudden his name became Mr. Topeka.
I don't know. I have a very long name myself. Judith, Blum, Levy, Scheindlin. My name is very, very long. That has nothing to do with the fact that you lost your ring 3 years ago, and you can't have it back. This may be your ring. It may not be your ring. Why in the world would I ascribe to these people any kind of criminal behavior 3 years away? Now, if you told me that he was one of the people who moved your property from one place to another, I would say, aha, a light would go off in my head. Did you work for the moving company that moved her?
Never have in my life.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Well, you can't go around, you know, accusing people of having property, stolen property, and believing that it's stolen. Return this, please. Miss Shadez?
Shadez, yes.
Yes, it's yours. Miss O'Miller, sad that you lost your ring. I would have felt much better about it if you had reported it to the police stolen. You did nothing. And who knows what happened to it in 3 years? It may have fallen in a truck, and 2 months later, somebody found it in the truck and said, I don't even know where this came from. Said, I'm going to sell it, and I'm going to sell it to a pawn shop and see what they give me for it. He sees it, he goes with his grandmother, he says, I only have $500, can you lend me the other 500? I believe his grandmother when she said that he paid her back. You don't get your ring back, Miss O'Miller. She also doesn't have to pay you for embarrassing you in the store. She didn't accuse you of stealing it.
Well, when the officer came, he said that, you know, it was stolen. And, I mean, I felt embarrassed when he comes into my job and, you know,
you don't
she made me lose time off of work. And she also had my address with, I don't know how she got my new address. I just moved into a new house. I feel like she's stalking me.
She's not stalking you anymore.
She has.
She's not stalking you anymore. She is entitled to sue you. Listen to me carefully. She's entitled to sue you. She had a good faith basis to believe that this was her property. And quite frankly, unless you could establish to my satisfaction, which you have, that you were a holder in due course for value, which means you paid value for this ring, I might have returned it to her if I believed it was hers to begin with. But I believe that you purchased it, and I believe you purchased it in good faith with your grandmother. I believe you paid value for it, and therefore the title is clear, is in your name. Do we all understand that? Good. Thank you. Thank you.
All is excused. You may step out.
Tanya Blishak is suing her former co-worker, Julianne Rouse, for startup money to sell Mary Kay Cosmetics.
Miss Blishak, according to what I've read in your complaint, you and the defendant worked together in a hair salon period of time, and in addition to your regular work, you were making some money on the side selling Mary Kay Cosmetics. You tried to get Miss Rouse to become a representative for Mary Kay and claimed that you sold her a quantity of product. You put it on your credit card because she asked you to, with the understanding that she would pay the credit card bill. She paid some, but not all, and you want the balance. Ms. Rouse says that you sort of pressured her into becoming a representative. She paid you back a total so far of $1,400 for the product that was purchased, according to her, without her consent. She stopped selling the product. She still has 6 boxes of it at home that you're welcome to have because she says she's paid enough.
Yes.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
I sold it for about a month.
That's a fib that you just told me, because you told me a moment ago that after a month, so that means that you were at least selling the product for 2 months.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Tanya Blishak says former co-worker Julianne Rouse owes for a loan to buy Mary Kay Cosmetics. Julianne says the makeup was forced on her.
When did you start to sell Mary Kay Cosmetics?
September of 2001.
And what percentage do you get of what, for instance, Miss Rouse would purchase from Mary Kay?
At the time, I did get 13% on her order, but I would like to state...
Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, I just want to say that I explained to her completely and full detail that she does not have to order any inventory whatsoever. It is for her benefit to have inventory if she wants it, so that she can give it to her customers when they buy it from her. That's completely her option. She doesn't have to do it, and she chose to do one of the big ones.
When did she purchase this product?
In April of '04.
And how much did she purchase?
She purchased a $2,400 order.
Now, tell me under what circumstances you financed her order of $2,400.
It was with my credit card.
Why?
She had been a customer as well before, and I had no problems with her financially. She paid her orders, there was no problems. And she wanted to get started with a business. She said she didn't have a credit card and you can't pay cash. And she wanted to do it, and I told her that I would help her out. She was going to pay me back the next month, and we were going to be done with this.
From where was she supposed to get $2,400?
I don't know.
Who do you live with?
My husband.
Have any children?
Yes.
How many?
1.
How old?
7 months.
And you were working full-time?
No, ma'am.
Part-time?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
I wasn't working for a while. I was going to school, and then I went back to work part-time at the salon. And at that time, my fiance at the time were living with roommates. We didn't have our own place.
So when you purchased this stuff, Miss Rouse, it was your intention to make this a part-time job?
Well, I was working part-time at the salon, and then I left there right about the same time this all happened to work full-time at a travel agency.
So was it your intention to work part-time selling Mary Kay Cosmetics?
At that time, yes.
Who selected the product that was purchased?
Miss Blishak did.
Without your input?
I didn't input. She did it online, and she ordered the things that she thought I needed at the time. And then about 5 weeks later, I needed different products, so I had to place another order on my own.
to get the products that I needed for my clients.
So you were, in fact, working?
For a little bit, yes.
So why didn't you finish paying her for the product?
And in the beginning, I did not want to sell the Mary Kay. She kept asking me to join. I thought if I joined it, it would be over and done with after the $115. So then after this, I decided that I would try it out.
Well, that's what she's talking about.
And she told me when she did this that I would be able to pay her back in a month because you would make so much money selling these products within the first month, as she did. At the time, I couldn't do that. I was working full time.
Well, that happened later. Ms. Rouse.
Within the same week, it
Ms.
happened,
Rouse,
ma'am.
listen to me.
Yes, ma'am.
There's something about buyer's remorse, which means that at the time you thought it was a good idea, and all of a sudden it didn't look so good after it was done, as opposed to someone who fraudulently sells you something. I'm not getting the sense that Miss Blishank sold you anything fraudulently, especially since you ordered more product a month later. And you paid her $1,400. She paid you $1,400? When did you stop paying her?
August was the last payment I gave her.
And you were paying her prior to that time because you were selling product?
I sold it for about a month.
Or more? Because that's a fib that you just told me, Miss Rouse. Because you told me a moment ago that after a month you ordered more product to sell to your customer. So that means that you were at least selling the product for 2 months.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
Sounds to me, Miss Rouse, as a case of you didn't plan on getting pregnant, you planned on working full-time, you planned on selling this part-time. It all didn't work out because you left a part-time job, went to a full-time job, then you got pregnant, then you stopped working. Are you working now?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. You better start selling some Mary Kay cosmetics because you owe her some money. How much does she owe you with interest on your credit card?
$1848.02.
Can I see that, please? Why does she owe you $1848? What kind of interest they charge you on your credit card?
It was 12.9.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Okay, good. You have 6 boxes of product left?
Yes, ma'am. I have a list of everything I have.
Good. You better start selling it, Miss Rouse. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,848. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
23-year-old Ileana Torres is suing her ex-fiancé, 25-year-old Benny DeJesus, for a loan to pay his child support. Ileana says Benny was in danger of going to jail for the second time.
How old are you, Miss Torres?
23.
And you, sir?
25.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a professional esthetician.
What about you, Mr. DeJesus? What do you do?
Electrician.
How many children do you have, Miss Torres?
Just one.
How old?
He's 5.
Does he live with you?
Yes, he does.
Who supports him?
I do.
How many children do you have, Mr. DeJesus?
One, Your Honor.
Where does that child live?
Lives with his mother right now.
And who supports your child?
Well, I pay child support every month right now, and she has physical custody of him.
Do you pay child support for Miss Torres's child?
No, ma'am.
Because it's not your child.
Yes, ma'am.
It would be stupid for you to pay child support for Miss Torres's child because the child doesn't belong to you.
Yes.
Child has a mother and a father,
Yeah.
and the mother and father should pay child support.
Yes, ma'am.
So this is what your lawsuit is about, Miss Torres. You and Mr. DeJesus had the unfortunate experience of being engaged to each other for a period of time. And while you were so involved, Mr. DeJesus fell behind in his child support, among other things. But this is what your lawsuit is about. And is your claim that you made a loan to him so that he wouldn't go to jail to pay his child support.
Yes.
Now, Mr. DeJesus says she paid the child support. You acknowledge.
Yes, I did. Yeah, she paid it for me.
But it was a gift. Now do you understand my preliminary questions?
Oh, yes. Clear as a bell.
So I asked you a couple of seconds ago, Mr. DeJesus, you wouldn't pay child support for her child, right?
Yeah.
Because the child's not yours.
Nope.
Child has a mother and a father.
Yep.
Parents are supposed to pay for their own children.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
And if you don't pay child support for your child, you're a bum.
Yeah, basically.
Perfect. How much did you give him to pay the child support?
$2,400.
And how much time was he facing in jail if he didn't pay the child support?
2 years.
Ah.
It would have been his second time going to jail for not paying his child support.
That's a bum times 2. Now, Miss Torres, I mean, he's easy to take care of. You know, I could take care of 10 of him with this pinky. 10 of him. My question to you is, you don't look like a marginal person. You look somebody in the eye when you speak to them. You have a child that you support, lives with you. What are you doing with him? I mean, are things so desperate out there that you got to pick a bum who's got one child and has fallen behind twice in child support to the extent that the second time they were going to put him in jail for 2 years? You're going to get your $2,400 because that's what he owes you. Because he doesn't want to pay for your child, and you shouldn't have to pay for his. Right, Mr. DeJesus?
Yeah,
right.
It wasn't $2,400. She only gave me $1,000. The rest of it I raised myself.
Show me the $2,400, Miss Torres.
She knows that it was $1,000 she gave me.
This is the check.
And the rest of it was raised
This is the check
up
that
and
I
all
had
put
signed.
together.
This is where it came out of my son's bank account.
Because the money
and
was
it got,
deposited
no,
in there
it
so that
was
we could
not.
write a check out for it because I
and
can't
I
get
got
cash.
my money in there.
She knows that the reason the money was deposited was so that I could write a check out because I had to have record of the money that I'm paying.
No,
for
and
my
I
child
have
support.
a piece of paper.
Well, no time around the withdrawal of this $2,400, sir, did anybody put in $1,500?
It was sporadically put in. It was $200 here. As I kept raising the money, I would put the money into the account because the court date was coming. When the court
You
date
should
came,
have kept better
we
records.
deposited.
What kind of an excuse did you give to the mother of your child every time you didn't send money?
I mean,
Checks in the mail.
We both spoke. We speak every time we see each other. She knows if I'm late and when she's going to get her money.
Let me ask you this question, Mr. DeJesus. Yesterday, did you eat dinner?
Yeah.
And you have a cell phone?
No.
You have a regular phone?
No, actually, no. Thanks to Miss Torres here, I don't have nowhere to live actually right now.
I was paying for everything for you.
She took my car.
Miss Torres,
threw my clothes away.
Does he have a problem that's eating up the money that he's earning from being an electrician?
From what I'm concerned, I don't know.
You
But
don't
when
know.
I met him, he did have problems.
Yeah.
Yes.
All I'm doing is telling you, I know. And you have a responsibility because you have a 5-year-old child. You're only supposed to bring the right kind of people into their lives. You got it?
Yes.
Judge for the plaintiff for the amount of $2,400. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
John Sanderlin says ex-girlfriend Christina Taylor owes for the return of child support and attorney fees. John claims Christina lied about the paternity of her child.
Mr. Sanderlin, Miss Taylor has a child. You and Miss Taylor were together for a period of time before the child was born. But it appears now at the time that you met, she was already pregnant by someone else, and the child is not yours. According to you, you didn't know that at the time.
Yes, ma'am.
And when the child was born, you put your name on the child's birth certificate and obligated yourself to take care of boy or girl?
Girl.
Girl. Very shortly after the child was born, you and Miss Taylor separated, and she went back to the child's father. I assume this gentleman here. According to you, time passed, and you were hauled into court for child support. You had to hire a lawyer. You were already in arrears. They took money out of your salary. Couldn't get that garnishment lifted without a lawyer. So you want Miss Taylor to pay you back for all of your expenses.
Yes, ma'am.
In addition, even after the order was lifted, 2 additional checks were taken out of your pay. Ms. Taylor received them and cashed them. You want those 2 back. Let's deal with those 2 first. Ms. Taylor, when did you get the last 2 checks?
Beginning of October.
For how much?
$136 apiece.
Why didn't you send them back to Mr. Sanderlin? There's not an answer.
Sorry. I just needed the money, so I cashed it. I felt he signed the birth certificate. You know, it was his obligation, I guess.
Is what you say to me actually the way your mind works?
No.
I just want to know. Is what you just said to me the response that you knew he wasn't the father of your child? You knew that there was no order anymore. You knew that you were living with the father of your child. And yet you got 2 checks that you knew were sent to you in error. And you needed the money, so you cashed the checks and spent them. I want to know if that's the way your mind works.
That's how I was thinking.
Then you have enough children.
I know that.
Good. Don't make any more. Because, God forbid, you make more, they'll have your mind. And we have enough people just with you that have your mind. That's dishonest.
It is.
So we're going to take care of this payment right off the bat. Mr. Sanderlin, I'm not finished with you yet because I don't think that you resorted to reasonable self-help. Now, how much money did you pay in total for this child that turned out not to be yours?
I don't have an exact figure.
Well, who's supposed to have a figure? Bird?
No.
Me? You're supposed to have a figure.
I would say anywhere between the lines of $1,000 and $3,000.
Well, that's ridiculous, Mr. Sanderline. That's why you got yourself into all this trouble. Where did you think you were coming today? You're coming to court in order for a court to make a financial award to you to pay you back the money that you've paid for child support. So the least you could do is sit down and figure out how much you paid. Not somewhere between $1,000 and $3,000.
Or whatever it takes to take care of a child from the time of birth up to 3 months.
How many children do you have?
I have none, ma'am.
Sounds perfect to me so far. Money came out of your check. You had a garnishment on your salary. That's what you told me.
$272 between 2 deductions.
Is that the total amount that was taken out of your pay?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, then what are you suing for $3,000 for?
For lawyer fees, it would have took a matter of 2 or 3 days in court to have everything cleared up if she had showed up to court.
Just a second. How much was your lawyer?
The first lawyer cost me, I have paperwork on this. This is the ledger from the lawyer stating everything that I paid. That was the first lawyer.
When was the first time you went into court with the lawyer?
I believe it was in April.
So what was this bill in 2004 for?
The bill in 2004?
Yeah.
I hired another lawyer to finish up the case because that lawyer there wanted another $1,000 to go back to court.
Sir, how many times have you been involved in court proceedings, not involving this child?
Maybe once or twice.
I want to see a bill for the lawyer. On this case, Mr. Sanderline. On this case, not your other problems. On this case.
This is it right here?
I don't believe it.
It has right at the top, Sanderland versus Taylor.
2002.
It goes all the way down to 2004.
2002 is when you said you went to court. Let me see any communication from your lawyer, a letter, with regard to this case.
Your Honor, may I speak?
No. Now, Ms. Taylor, when Mr. Sanderline went into court, allegedly in 2002, did you go into court with him?
Yes, I did.
What did you say to the judge?
I told him that he wasn't the father, and I didn't want child support.
Were you receiving welfare?
No. I don't think at the time.
In the last 4 years, were you receiving welfare?
Yes, they went down and applied for insurance.
Were you receiving welfare?
Yes. Can I say something?
Uh-huh.
When they asked who the father was, they asked household members and who the father was. I never put down John. I always told them it was Daniel, and then I had a paternity test. I showed them the paternity test. I never said that it was John.
You didn't tell him that he was not the father when you met him, right?
Right.
And when he put his name on the birth certificate when the child was born in the hospital, you said, oh, she looks like you, or she looks like me, or she looks like your mother, or she looks like me. You didn't tell him that he wasn't the father, did you?
No.
That was dishonest, because what you say in your answer was very dishonest. You say he should have done the math, right?
Right.
I'm dying to hear what you have to say.
May I approach? Well, first off, me and Christina have been together since 2 months after when this baby was born.
I don't care.
Mr. Sanderline had nothing to do with her life or whatsoever.
Do you see my mouth moving?
I see her, yes, ma'am.
What do you have to contribute to this case?
The only thing I gotta say is Christina had nothing to do with the court proceedings. She told the judge she got the paternity test stating John Sanderwood was not the father. We proved to the court he wasn't, and that should have been that.
Listen
now,
to
any
me.
attorney's fees that he may have paid...
I'm speaking. Now, listen to me very carefully. Are you married?
No, ma'am.
Your girlfriend was dishonest because when she wasn't with you, she was looking for somebody else to nail for this child. If she wasn't, she would have told him right away that he wasn't the father of this child, and I guarantee you he wouldn't have put his name on the birth certificate. She was looking for somebody to pick up the slack because I don't know where you were, but you weren't together. That's number one. Number two, since you are now together, assume that you don't keep secrets from each other.
No.
That when she received these 2 checks in the amount of $136 that she told you about him?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's the only part I feel
just
like
answer.
we've done wrong.
Just answer.
Yes, ma'am.
And you told her it was wrong.
Yes, ma'am.
And she did it anyway.
Yes, we both did it, not just her alone. We were in hard financial times at the time, and I disagreed at first, but in the end, we both did it together. It wasn't her decision.
I'm glad now I see. Do you have any children other than this one child?
Yes, a child, son Zach. Yeah. A son as well, yes.
You got enough children, too. Sit down. It all started with a lie, Miss Taylor. Your lie. That's why he had all this trouble. Because if you had told him right from the get-go, listen, I love you, I want to be with you, but this child isn't yours. If you can open your heart up to a child that isn't yours, that's fine. Then he would have had a choice. he would have been able to say, listen, not my child, but I love you. I want to be able to be a family. If I choose to put my name on the birth certificate and accept that responsibility, that's my choice. You lied in 2002. You lied in 2001. You lied in 2005 when you took his check that you shouldn't have. Well, that says a great deal about your character. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $3,000. That's all.
Parties are excused.
25-year-old Chad Navarro is suing the mother of his daughter, 23-year-old Jennifer Resnikoff, for stealing money from his bank account. Chad claims Jennifer used the money to buy drugs.
Mr. Navarro, you and Miss Resnikoff lived together for a period of time, and you also have a child together.
Yes.
According to your complaint, when you were living together, you gave Miss Resnikoff the ability to withdraw money from your bank account. She had access to your bank account, and that was with your permission to cover certain bills.
Yes.
It is your claim that she drained your bank account in order to purchase drugs.
Yes.
And you want her to reimburse you for the amount that she took without your authorization to purchase drugs. Ms. Resnikoff says that she did, in fact, withdraw the money from your bank account. It was a bank account that you gave her access to. She had withdrawn money in the past for household items, but that you had not given her sufficient money to take care of your child, and she purchased items for your child, and that was the reason that she took the money out of the bank. Is that right?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Resnikoff. When did Mr. Navarro give you access to the bank account?
I'd say probably about 4 months after we first met.
Give me the month and the year.
Approximately, I would say March of 2002, approximately.
So from March of 2002 until what date did you have access to the bank account?
Till we broke up.
Which was when?
Which was in August of this year.
During what months do you claim that she withdrew, without your permission, the bulk of the money, over $3,000?
Yeah.
September and October of what year?
5.
And when did the two of you break up?
We broke up maybe at the end of September.
October. Not August, it was October.
When was the last time you lived with Miss Resnikoff?
I don't really remember the dates. You know, I don't remember.
Was it 2 months ago or 2 weeks ago?
It was about a month, maybe 2 weeks ago.
I moved in with my brother 3.5 weeks ago, thank you.
That's not August.
Well, I was saying that in August and October she was taking the money out. In 8 and 9. Oh, August and September. Okay.
Can I see your bank statement? How old is your baby?
11 months, ma'am.
Where is the baby?
She is here.
Who does she live with?
Me.
Are you talking, sir, about where it says ATM withdrawals?
Yes. She had the card. She took it out of the mail.
What'd you spend all this money on?
My baby.
Baloney.
No, really. I have a witness that was there most of the times that I went out and purchased stuff.
Well, just a second. Who gave you the authority to do that?
Well, I thought, seeing that I was on the account, that I could access it without this being a problem.
You spent over $3,000 in a 30-day period on your baby?
I don't think it was $3,000.
Yeah?
Your Honor?
Yes, go ahead.
Right on the back page, you can see the checks that she wrote to cash. So, I mean, why would she write it to cash if she was just buying the stuff for the baby? She could have just went there.
Listen to me. It's baloney. I just said to you, it's baloney.
I was just saying, sorry.
Yeah, it's baloney. My question to you, Mr. Navarro, is something that, to me, is more serious than $3,000 out of your bank account. You have a son or a daughter with this lady?
Daughter.
And you separated, and she took the baby?
Yes.
And you say she's got a drug problem?
She's with her brother right now, and
So
she's
what?
been clean.
How do you know that?
Because I trust her brother. Her brother's my best friend, and I trust him. And
you trust him to what?
He's there all day.
Take your hands out of your pockets.
He's there all day,
Well,
and...
why? He doesn't work?
No, he does work. He does eBay.
What do you mean he does eBay?
eBay, he sells stuff on eBay.
Where does he get the stuff he sells on eBay?
He buys it offline and then sells it, like laptop computers and stuff like that.
Where does he get the money from to buy the stuff, sir?
Where does he get it? From eBay. He posts the stuff, he gets the money, and then he uses the money to buy the stuff again. You know what I mean? That's how...
Do I know what you mean? I know what you're telling me. I know what you're telling me. What do you do for a living?
Me? I'm a warehouse manager.
Let me tell you this, Mr. Navarro. If somebody has a $3,000 a month drug habit, which is what you're alleging, you don't get over a $3,000 a month drug habit unless you go into an inpatient facility for a long time. And I wouldn't believe my best friend who makes his money in some unorthodox way that his sister is clean. You following me, sir?
Yes.
That's what I would worry about. Not the fact that she took this money out of a bank account that you gave her access to, that she's had access to for 3 years. You should have been watching the store a little more carefully. Do you understand? Yeah. What I would worry about is my 11-month-old child, if you believe that she was using drugs, which is very easy to find out. You go to court, you file for custody of your child, they take her in, they do a drug test on her hair. They do a hair follicle test, and the hair follicle test will show what kind of drugs she had been doing over the last year, in what amount, and in what frequency. Not whether she used drugs the day before, but it will show a pattern of drug use. That's what you do. Do you understand? If that's what you think.
Well, she even admitted
listen to me. Have you done that?
What? No.
Take custody of your daughter?
No.
Well, then I hardly believe, sir, that a man, the only one in this whole family of 3, she, her brother, and you, the only one who works, who has a steady source of income for a long time, you're the only one who can manage to hold it together, has not done that. I said, it's okay for you. You can go live with your brother. You and your drug habit, and your brother and his unorthodox business can all go live together, and I'll do what I have to do. That's not what a responsible person does, Mr. Navarro. Responsible person doesn't leave an 11-month-old child with someone who had a $3,000 a month drug habit. You want to say anything?
Yeah, I did not have a drug habit. I had admitted to him that I had tried certain drugs, which I'm not proud of.
Just a second. Where did you get them?
Where did I get them?
No, I asked the question. Don't take time to think of the answer. Where did you get them?
From his...
He gave them to you for nothing, or did you pay for them?
I paid for them.
Out of this money?
Part of it, yes, but not $3,000 worth.
I don't care if it was 20 cents. She says she told you she got the drugs from your...
There was an intervention that we had, and everybody came over, and she admitted that she was doing the drugs, and she did not tell me.
She just told me she was doing drugs.
But it was more than that, what you admitted.
Listen
it wasn't only that.
Listen to me, sir. I believe if she admits to a little, she used a lot. My problem with you, Mr. Navarro, is when you go to court and seek custody of your daughter, they will do a drug test on her mother. And I guarantee you that if it's established that she's been using drugs, the chances of you getting custody of your child, if you don't do drugs...
No. The thing is, if I do that, she said she would run, so...
She said she'll run?
Yeah.
Mr. Navarro, that's what they all say. That's what you're supposed to do if you feel as if your child is at risk. Do you understand?
Yes.
And then, if you have custody of your daughter, that gives her an opportunity to get a job, which now she doesn't have, right?
No.
And once she gets a job, you might get some of this money back. Won't be in the form of this, it'll be in the form of child support that she'll have to pay you to help take care of your daughter. You get it?
Yep.
That would be my concern, sir. My 11-month-old would be my concern. Is it yours?
Yes.
Good, your case is dismissed, that's all.
Our 28-year-old Guinevere Johnson is suing William Glenn for the cost of caring for his step-grandson.
Quiet in the courtroom, please. All rise. Yeah, this is case number 350 on the calendar in the matter of Johnson versus Glenn.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Judge. Parties have been sworn in, Your Honor. You may be seated. Ladies, have a seat.
Ms. Johnson, Mr. Glenn has a grandson, and I assume, Mr. Glenn, that you have guardianship of him?
That's correct.
Are you his paternal grandfather or maternal grandfather?
He's my step-grandson.
Who is the biological grandparent?
That'll be my wife.
Is she the maternal grandparent or paternal?
She's maternal.
How many children does her daughter have?
5.
Have you and your wife raised all 5 of her children?
That's correct.
What's her daughter's problem?
She has men problems, drug problems, not grown up enough to know what she has to do. She can have babies, just couldn't raise them.
Okay. And you took them in?
That's correct.
Who supported the children?
I supported the children solely.
You got no state aid for the children?
The Medi-Cal and a minor amount, I think it was maybe 130 possibly per child.
Mr. Glenn, we're going to think a little bit harder, sir. You're going to give me the figure of how much you received from the state for this child.
It's $841 for 3.
Well, why don't you show me, sir? It's $800 a month. As of July 1st, 2005, that would be $266 per month for each child. This is what your lawsuit is about, Ms. Johnson. This particular child, whose name is? Stephen, came to live with you.
Correct.
And you are suing his grandfather for support because he lived with you for how long?
From the middle of June until, I believe, the 1st of October.
Tell me the circumstances surrounding his coming to see you.
He had come to stay with me for a weekend. During that time, one of his older sisters was down visiting. His 2 older sisters live in Florida with their mother, and she was down visiting. She did not spend much time with Stephen while she was down visiting. However, she did come to let me know that Stephen was no longer allowed to go home. So I then talked to Bill, and he informed me that his wife stated Stephen was no longer welcome in their home.
You were having problems with him, sir?
He's a problem child. He has many problems, yes.
This was in June?
Well, the discussion was never with Guinevere. It was with her mother, who originally really loved Stephen and wanted to take him under her wings and take him to the ranch and, just take care of him because he's a good kid when he wants to be, and he's a very hard worker, and that's what they wanted at the time, to have Stephen on the ranch with her. They had an accident up there, one of the children.
Just a second. When did Stephen go to live with Miss Johnson?
I guess it would be July.
And when did the support that you were receiving for Stephen from the state stop?
I think there should have been a cutoff date in July.
Don't tell me what you think, Mr. Glenn. I'm asking you a question. How many months after middle of June did you collect support from the state for Stephen? That's very easy for me to find out from the County of Ventura.
4 months.
And how much money did you give Miss Johnson to take care of Stephen?
I didn't give her anything. I give Stephen a few things, and let me add, Your Honor, but let me add something.
Yeah.
These people at first wouldn't take anything. Stephen was a hard worker.
Now she wants something.
I understand.
She wants $5,000. That's not
actually,
going to
no, she
happen.
wants
I'm speaking. The taxpayers of the state of California, through their generosity, gives you $266 a month to defray your expenses for Stephen. Now, you had no expenses for Stephen. July, August, and September. That money to the people who were taking care of him. That's a no-brainer.
Well, it is actually a brainer, because I've spoke with these people many times. It's not that we try to keep any money. We try to get her to go to family court with me several times to take care of
Not family court. She didn't want to go to family court. She didn't want to become responsible in the eyes of the state to take care of him, because she was going to give this a test run. If he was so bad, he wasn't good. I'm speaking. If he was so bad that your wife, his grandmother, related to him by blood, said that he's not welcome in my house, it would have been stupid for her or her mother to go to family court and say, we're going to accept responsibility, we want to be his guardians. But if he's staying with them, don't tell me you wanted them to go to court. You just should have gone over there with $266 in cash every month and said, this is to help defray Stephen's expenses.
She wanted me to give her adopting money. She wanted $3,000 a month.
Why didn't you just turn over to her, Mr. Glenn, what you were getting and saying, I'm not going to give you $3,000 adoption money. Here's the money that I get from the state. If you don't like it, Stephen can come home.
She'd have got the money. It just turned out to be a big attitude thing, big problem with her to me.
Well, now you touched with my attitude, Mr. Glenn, because I sort of stand in the place of the citizens of the state of California, and they didn't give you a gift of $1,000. They didn't give you a gift. You should have taken this state money and given it to them. End of discussion. Is Stephen back with you now?
Yes, Your Honor. He worked for these people, and my granddaughter visited them, and we discussed, my granddaughter discussed with Guinevere and Stephanie. They wouldn't take a dime because Stephen does so much for, I know, but he does so much.
Mr. Glenn, then you should have taken the $266 and returned it to the citizens. Listen to me! And returned it to the citizens of the state of California. My question is, did you do that?
I absolutely called him and told him there's going to be a change in custody.
That's not what I asked you.
No, I did not, according to your question.
The answer is you did not.
Did not.
What'd you do with it? You spent it.
Stephen got some of it. Not
No.
She got some of it. Too.
No.
Yes, she did.
No.
She did.
No. Your counterclaim, sir, is that she came to your place of business and she embarrassed you.
Well, she did more than embarrass me at my business. I was with a couple customers. She threw his bag on the ground. She came in the driveway real fast, and she said, "You need to take your grandson to the hospital." I thought maybe he cut himself or, you know, as usual, had something wrong with him. And she says, "No, the damn mental hospital. Because you guys, you destroyed him. You made him this way." And I raised 5 kids. I didn't make any of them bad. Just a second.
What I want, Mr. Glenn, is just the facts, sir.
Okay.
That's what she said. She dropped his bag, and she said, "You better take him to a hospital, a mental hospital, because you destroyed him."
Yeah, and then she made a false report to Child Services, Protective Services.
Just a second. Did you bring him home?
Yes, I did.
And what happened when you brought him back to his grandfather's store?
What had happened is I'd gone to Child Protective Services first to explain to them the problems I was having with Stephen at my house, that he could no longer stay at my house because he was becoming a danger to my children. And a week before this, Bill had informed me that...
He wasn't a danger to your children.
Listen, I don't want you to say anything, sir. I want you to remember how this whole thing started. This whole thing started because you told her that your wife will no longer permit Stephen in the house. Your wife, his grandmother, by blood, said, "This teenager, 14 years old,
14,
cannot come home. I don't care what you do with him, he's not coming home." They took him in, but evidently there was a good reason why his grandmother said, "He can't stay at my house." And she finally found out after 3 months what those reasons were. So she did what was appropriate. She took him to Child Protective Services because she's supposed to take him. Child Protective Services had to be informed that his guardian said he couldn't come home. What was she supposed to do with him? Kick him out in the street?
They already knew that.
Just a second. She cannot put him out in the street because she has children. If she did that herself, Child Protective Services, what are you taking, a 14-year-old? You put him out in the street, we're going to come and take your children. What kind of a person are you? So she went to Child Protective Services and she said, "This is his behavior." Go ahead.
So I went to Child Protective Services. A couple weeks before that, I tried talking to a school counselor because this child needed a lot of help. When I went to Child Protective Services, they told me I had 2 options. I could take him if he was willing to go. They informed me that they felt, by what I was telling them, that he should go into a hospital and be evaluated because he was suicidal.
But he didn't want to go.
He did not want to go.
And you have no authority to put him there, you're not his guardian.
Correct.
So you have to take him home.
That was the only other option I had.
Fine. Now, did you call Child Protective Services at any time other than taking Stephen there that time? Did you call and complain about any behavior relative to his grandmother and grandfather?
No, I did not.
You have any information, Mr. Glenn, that Miss Johnson made any other false reports against you?
Well, she told Child Services that we allowed Stephen to lay around in his own filth. Never do, never have, never would. I mean, it's like the social service walked in the house. There was nothing wrong with our house.
All I know is, sir, that Miss Johnson took on a responsibility that she probably shouldn't have taken on since she has children. Because if the blood relatives of a child, Miss Johnson, say that they can't take care of him, there's a reason. There's usually a reason.
Well, she took him on because she needed the free labor.
Mr. Glenn, stop being stupid.
All right, well.
Stop being stupid. It would be as ridiculous to make that assumption about this lady who took him in for 3 months and who went to school, went to his guidance counselor, tried to get him involved in other things, and for me to say to you that you took care of your 5 grandchildren to get the state aid that you got for the 5 grandchildren since 1997. Wouldn't that be stupid?
Yes, it would be.
Oh, of course. That's not why you did it. I'm sure you took in your grandchildren because they needed a home. And because their grandmother felt as if she wanted to provide them a home because a child that she reared, that she raised, turned out to be an inappropriate parent.
That's correct.
Right. You have to return the $1,000 that you owe Miss Johnson that the state gave you. You have no right to keep it, Mr. Glenn, and your counterclaim is dismissed. That's all.
Brian Borges is suing his former friend, Darla Grote, for her share of a hotel room in Cabo San Lucas. Carla says Brian agreed to pick up the tab.
Mr. Borges, I gather from your complaint that you and Miss Grote were friends. You both are single parents, is that right?
That's correct.
And it is your claim that Miss Grote accompanied you and your daughter on a trip to Mexico.
Correct.
And it is your claim that she owes you money for expenses for that trip.
Correct.
The defendant, who acknowledges she went on the trip with you, says that you had an agreement that as long as she paid for the airline tickets for both herself and her daughter, you would cover the rest of the expenses while you were in Mexico.
Correct.
How old is your daughter?
She's 13.
And Mr. Borges, you have?
A 13-year-old daughter.
And these 13-year-olds go to school together? Are they friends?
Correct.
Is that how you know each other?
Correct.
I understand that you were out for dinner with Miss Grote at a time when you were discussing this trip.
Yes, we,
So my first question is, was this the first time you and the defendant had been out to dinner together?
yes,
How did that come
on
about?
the phone and wanted to know if I'd like to go to dinner with her.
And you had not dated before?
No.
So now, Mr. Borges, tell me about the conversation that you had at dinner about this vacation that you were planning, and I understand Ms. Grote was planning for her daughter as well.
There was approximately 9 of us going to Mexico.
Who was going?
Me, my witness, Will, Perry and his kids, my daughter.
So it was single dads?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me about the conversation you had with Ms. Grote.
Well, the conversation got brought up that we were going to Mexico and she and her daughter were going to Seattle and they would like to go. And I explained to her where we were going to stay, what the costs were. She said she couldn't afford it if she went by herself, so she was going to have a friend of hers come along with her so she could afford the hotel room.
Is that this person?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, it came down to the point where we had to pay for our hotel rooms. Darla stated she didn't have the money. She was wanting to pay her hotel when we got there. Well, the hotel wouldn't work it that way. So I explained to her that I would pay the hotel room, but she was going to pay me back when she got to Mexico. And she agreed.
How much was the room?
Their share was $700, $350 for her and $350 for a friend.
What happened when you got to Mexico?
She didn't have a credit card to put down on the room. I put my credit card down on the room. Told her don't charge anything on the room. I mean, promptly started charging things on the room.
Like what?
Just long distance phone calls, Cosmic Bar, towel deposits, things of that nature.
That, please? What do you do for a living, Miss Grote?
I'm a regional trainer.
And you don't have a credit card?
I have a credit card, but not that high of a limit on it.
What's the limit on your credit card?
It's only at 1,000, and it was full.
What happened next, Mr. Borges?
So I went up to the hotel desk, told them that they needed to shut my credit card off, and at this point I knew she didn't have any money, so I told them that I wasn't going to be responsible for paying the bill.
What made you think she didn't have any money?
Well, it all started at the airport when the taxi came. They didn't have any money. You know, it was just borrowing money. She borrowed money from Will the entire trip.
Who paid for the cab? I'm sorry.
She got mad the first night because she had to pay for her own dinner. Next day I just said, you know what, I'm not going to deal with it because she's upset because where we went to dinner she said was too expensive. It got into a big argument at the pool that afternoon. I was talking to somebody at the pool. She got upset. Her friend got upset. She thought I asked somebody else out for dinner that evening, which I hadn't.
Was there any discussion with Ms. Grote that the two of you were going on that trip as a couple?
Oh, we discussed that that was not the case because...
That was?
Not the case.
When did you discuss that?
The first evening at
Well,
the
tell me
restaurant.
about that discussion.
I told her if she was going to go on the vacation, it was a single dad's deal, that she had to understand that this wasn't going to be a romantic trip.
Okay, now I'll hear you.
We did go to dinner the first night and discussed the trip. I had actually told him I was going to Seattle with my daughter over the 4th of July. We did not talk about money or anything that night. About a week or two after that dinner, we had kept talking about going to Cabo.
You mean you were talking on the telephone?
Talking on the telephone.
But you only went out for dinner once.
One time. So we had talked about it, and I says, well, what are we talking as? And he came back with a price, I think it was $1,800 or $1,900. And I told him, I made it very clear to him that I could not afford to go on that trip.
So why did you go?
Well,
my question.
I could go if I paid the airline because he offered to take care of the hotel.
Why would you do that, Ms. Grote?
I'm sorry, do what? Go on the vacation?
Absolutely.
I don't know. It was a mistake.
It was a big mistake. Why in the world would you expect somebody who you were not involved with?
We were involved.
No, you were not involved with. You went out for dinner. According to what I'm hearing, you went out for dinner one time on your invitation. And maybe you were hoping for more of a romantic relationship. But as far as I'm hearing, this was not a committed relationship. So why in the world would you expect someone else to pay your freight? Why would you permit somebody else to pay your freight?
By that point, my daughter had found out about the trip. The daughters were talking about it, and I told him, I made it very clear that I could not afford the hotel.
Then you should not have gone.
Well, maybe not.
Then you should not have gone, and you certainly shouldn't have gone and invited somebody else to go with you. You see, that's how I know.
No.
That's how I know that what you're telling me is not true. Because if you were going with some sort of an expectation that this was going to be a romantic getaway for the two of you, you wouldn't have invited a girlfriend.
Can I finish telling you what the reason the girlfriend went is because he had called me and asked me if I had any single girlfriends I could bring.
That is not
for
true.
his friend.
That is not true.
He called me and he says, okay, I've taken care of the room. Can the girls, all the girls, stay in with you? And I said, well, that would be like 6 of us in one room. He goes, that way, my room is open for us.
That is completely
true.
wrong.
That is
Your
true.
Honor,
Just a second, wait a second. Shh, just a second. So, what did you say?
I said no.
Well, not only did you say no, but you should have said goodbye, if that wasn't your intention, Miss Grote. What I'm saying is, if you have any misgivings about going away on a trip with somebody whose intentions you're not sure of, you don't go. And you certainly don't go and expect for somebody else to pay for you and pay the freight. You stay home, go to Seattle. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $500. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Christy Wise says ex-boyfriend Nick Knox owes for 2 different loans. Nick claims Christy was never his girlfriend.
Ms. Wise, you and Mr. Knox dated for a period of time, not very long, 6 months or so?
Yes.
No, not true. Never.
I'm not talking to you. And according to your complaint, during that time, you made a series of loans to him for various things. Gambling debt, some DUI fines that he had because he had lost his license. While Mr. Knox acknowledges that you gave him gifts, he says none of them were loans. None of them involved gambling. So, when did the two of you start this relationship?
I met him online and on a website called MySpace. My friends told me it was a good place to meet people, so I signed up and I got a message from him. I got the message at the beginning of January.
January of 2005?
Yes.
When did you give him this first chunk of money?
July.
So between January of 2005 and July, there were no loans?
Correct.
Did you see him? Were you dating?
We were not dating at that point. We only dated for like a month.
What month?
Month of June. June to July.
So between January when you met and June, did you communicate on the internet or not at all?
We talked on the phone. I went up and visited him, and we talked online too.
But in June you started dating?
Yes.
And the first money that you gave him was in July?
Correct.
That should have been a clue. What was the money for?
It was for, he went out and gambled when he was out drinking, and he gambled $1,000 and only had $500.
All right.
He called me and he told me about it.
I want you to tell me exactly what he said to you when he called you.
He told me that he had went gambling and he bet $1,000 on a card game, and he only had a $500, and the guy was going to come over the next day and physically harm him if he didn't have the money. And he didn't have the money the next day. He called me and told him that the guy had came over and physically harmed him, and then I went up the day after and gave him the $400.
That's a little stilted, what you just said to me. First he called and told you that if you didn't give him the money, he was going to get hurt.
Yes.
You didn't give him the money. Then he called you back and told you that the man came and actually hurt him?
Yes.
How did he hurt him?
He brought a couple of his buddies over and they got in a fight outside his house, I guess. That's what I was informed of.
When you went up there, were there any physical signs of his being assaulted?
Yes, his jaw was bruised.
Was?
Yes.
Black and blue?
Yeah.
And you gave him the $400?
Yes.
What did he say to you?
He said, thank you, I will repay you as soon as I can.
When was the next sum of money that you gave him?
August 15th. It was for his DUI for $250.
Tell me how that came about.
He called me and he informed me that he did not have enough to make his monthly payment for his DUI, and he asked if he could borrow some money. And I said, how much do you need? He said, $250. So I said, okay.
Well, did you know he had a DUI?
Yes, he informed me.
When?
Back in January.
How did he tell you he had a DUI?
We just were talking, and he just told me the one, we got on the subject of driving, and he's like, well, I got a DUI.
Did he drive?
No.
So you did the driving?
Correct.
When did you lose your license?
November of last year.
How many DUIs have you had?
Just that one.
Must have been a bad one. Were you in an accident?
No. I swerved over, I went left the center, and the police officer drove by me and gave me a DUI. I did the sobriety test and stuff, and then went to court. Well, I tried fighting it, but then we just really gave up on it because I admitted to it, so.
Well, what do you mean you tried fighting it?
Well,
take your hands out of your pocket.
Because they wrongfully arrested me, too. They were giving me, I passed all my field sobriety tests, and I blew the legal limit, and then they were shoving me around, pushing me around, slamming me into my car, just saying a bunch of obnoxious things to me, making fun of my name. It's a bunch of stupid stuff. we tried fighting it, and then, because I had another
You tried
charge.
fighting it because?
I had more than one charge with it. I had the DUI, and I had a concealed weapon, too. It was just a pellet gun under my seat, so they're going to try and charge me with that, so they just dropped that down to nothing, and I just took the DUI.
Is this your first arrest?
Yeah.
Jacked out with the police?
Not really, no.
Where had you been drinking?
I was with my girlfriend at the time then,
Yeah.
and we were at our friend's house having a couple drinks, and then I left and took her home. And then on my way home, I got in trouble.
And what kind of fine did you have to pay?
$1,500.
And how much time did you have to pay it?
2 months. I got sentenced in May of '05. I had 2 months to pay it.
Did you call her and ask her for $250?
No, she gave it to me.
So she gave you the $250?
I told her all about, we were talking on the phone. We never dated, first of all. Second of all, we were talking on the phone. I told her about my situation.
Tell me what you told her about your situation.
I just told her I got a DUI, and she's like, well...
Just a sec, she already knew that. She knew that from January. I'm asking you about the money that you were short.
Oh, I told her because she's like, well, you want to go out? I'm like, well, I have no money. I might have to save up for my fines. I'd save up for my fines and stuff. And then she's like, well, I can help you out. I want to get you back on your feet, you know. So instead of her driving all the time, I'd be able to get my license back and pay my reinstatement fee. So she told me she would help me out. She never told me I had to pay her back. She never said anything about that.
Let's say, Mr. Knox, that she didn't say you had to pay her back. Don't you think you had to pay her back?
I was going to.
Don't you think
yes.
that's the right thing to do?
I was going to do that. Yes, I was.
Right.
That's
Good.
what I was going to do.
That's what I like to hear. I don't like to hear bums standing in front of me. I like to hear people who act responsible. Because, quite frankly, Mr. Knox, I could understand it if you said to me, you know, I met Miss Wise and I was involved with her and I cared deeply about her and we were involved in a relationship and I was short a little bit of money, and she said, you know, honey, don't stress, I can advance it to you. I don't want you to worry about it. But according to you, you weren't involved with her. You never even dated.
Yes, we were.
You never even...
We did not date.
You never even dated. You never went out with her. So taking $250 from her, that would make you a bum. Go stand on a corner with a cup. Now I want you to tell me about the $400 for the gambling.
There was no gambling thingy. That is not true. That is just the most untrue thing I've ever heard in my entire life, actually. There was no, I got a gambling debt. I mean, I'm not a small guy. I'm not just going to have some guy come to my own house and beat me up in my own house. That's not true at all. I had no bruises on my face, nothing. I owe nobody money. The money she did give me, that was towards my DUI.
And how much was that?
That was $200. Pretty sure it was $200.
No. We're talking about two different amounts of money.
Oh.
Mr. Knox, we're talking about two different amounts of money. One was $250 for your fines, but you had additional amounts of money that you owed. Mm-hmm. How much was the second amount of money that you owed?
About $400.
All right. And what did you owe the $400 for?
My reinstatement fee on my license. My fines were already paid off by then.
Just a second. We're going to get there. On your best day, you are not as smart as I am on my worst day. Do you understand that?
That's true.
So while it's very possible that you took the $400 and paid your fines with it that you got from her, right? Maybe the story was, if you don't help me out, I'm going to get hurt. Now, since, Mr. Knox, you say that you were not involved in a relationship with her, and since you chose to take money from her rather than standing on the street corner with a cup, or in the alternative, getting a second job if you needed money.
I didn't...
Now listen to me. If you need extra money, what you do is you work for it. You don't ask other people who may be more smitten with you than you are with them to, when you know you have no feeling for them, just because you're a bum. Now, the only thing I'm doing to him now, it's hurting him a little bit, right?
Right.
Which hopefully will make you feel a little bit better. It certainly makes me feel better. Because I don't like people who take advantage of other people. It's not nice.
I know it.
Well, then, if you know it, why don't you pay her back?
I planned on doing that until other things started happening. That's
Like
when
what?
I had to get my cell phone number changed, my instant message name changed because I work 12-hour shifts at nights. So she would call me every single night, at least a dozen times a night. I have phone bill records to prove it, that she would call me at least a dozen times a night.
What would she say when she called you?
She'd call, I wouldn't answer because I'm at work, so I can't answer my phone. So she'd just keep calling and calling.
Did you ever call her back?
No, because she'd call private numbers.
Well, then let me ask you this question, Mr. Knox.
I couldn't call her back,
Mr.
though.
Knox, let me ask you this question, sir. You knew how to communicate with her via the internet, And if what you wanted to do was to sever all ties with her, because according to you, she was becoming obsessive. You didn't know that because you didn't speak to her, so you don't know whether she was calling you 100 times because she said, you know, you owe me money. And if you don't want to have anything to do with me, fine, but at least give me the money you owe me.
Sometimes when she would call, I'd answer my phone. She'd say nothing about money. She'd just be like, oh, hey, what do you want to go out? That's all she'd
Fine.
say.
And what did you say to her?
I said, no, I'm at work.
Fine. Why don't you just say to her, Christy, listen, I'm not interested in you socially. You have a girlfriend, or I'm involved in school and work and whatever. I know I have to give you some money, and I'm going to give it back to you, $100 a week until it's all paid off.
I tried doing that.
When did you try doing that?
I told her that I was going to, I asked her if she could send me in an email or something, her address to her house. I'd send her $100 checks every week in the mail. I told her I'd give her this, like she said she was going on vacation.
Just a second. Did he ever ask you for your address to send you money?
Yes, he did, but I had previously offered him the option to pay me every week, and he denied it.
Just a second. What did he ask you for your address for?
To mail me a check, so I didn't have to see me.
So why didn't you give it to him?
Because I asked him to do it
No,
sooner.
listen to me. So if he said to you, give me your address so I can send you a check, why didn't you give it to him?
Because he didn't want to do it when I wanted to, and I had already filed a claims court when he called me.
It was before. It was before claims
Listen,
court.
Miss Wise, don't throw the baloney at me.
Ma'am, I have a voicemail that he did send me, and it's him acknowledging he owes me money, the full amount.
Does he say what amount?
Yes, he does.
Oh, let me hear it.
The mail from the United Municipal Court saying I owe you $1,086. Why don't we just do this? Every week I'll send you a check in the mail for $200 on the button every single week until it's paid off. I'll call you back later, and that's about it.
You hear $1,086? Good.
That's what he said.
Okay, well, that's an acknowledgement of a debt, Mr. Knox.
I knew I had to pay her back. I know
Well,
that.
then why didn't you say that to me in here and save us all a lot of time and trouble? I got other cases to handle today.
I tried settling it with her. She wouldn't. She wanted to come here.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,086. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Daniel Seabolt says ex-girlfriend Amanda Deaton lied to him, claiming he was the father of her baby. He is suing for unpaid rent and the return of his PlayStation and computer.
Right, Mr. Seabolt, you and the defendant had a relationship, according to what I read in your complaint. The defendant became pregnant. According to you, you leased an apartment in your name.
Your Honor.
You moved in together. She had her baby. You didn't get along.
Correct.
You subsequently ascertained that this baby was not yours. You took a paternity test.
Right, Your Honor.
And you separated.
We actually separated before the paternity test.
So you separated, and then you took the paternity test.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you told her when you moved out that you wanted her to move out too,
Right, Your
because
Honor.
you didn't want to be responsible for the rent anymore. She did not. She stayed in the apartment for several months. Is that right?
Yeah, about 2 months.
You want her to pay that 2 months' rent.
Yes, Your Honor.
And in addition, you claim that you left some property at the house. You want that property.
I would like that back, yes.
Ms. Deaton says she doesn't have your property. You knew that you didn't have to leave the house, that you could have stayed there with your family, that you knew that there was a possibility that this baby wasn't yours all along, so that she didn't fool you. Is that true, by the way?
That is, I knew there was a small chance that the baby was not mine.
How small a chance?
I assume there's a very small chance, but obviously not that small.
Just curious. Why did you assume that there was a chance that the child wasn't yours?
Because I found out that she had cheated on me with one of my best friends. After I found that out, and then we started talking a couple months later, and we tried to patch things back up, and then we found out she was pregnant.
How come you didn't have a paternity test immediately?
I was just trying to forget the incident of the cheating and the separation, trying to work back towards our relationship, and any reminder that was sort of painful for me. I was just trying to get back on with our lives.
How old are you, Mr. Seabolt?
I am 22 years old.
How old are you, Miss Deaton?
18.
Shh. Please. How old is your baby?
My daughter is 14 months old.
Does the child's father pay child support?
No, he does not.
Why not?
At the time of conceiving my daughter, I was not dating Daniel. I was in a relationship with the father. Upon becoming pregnant, upon knowing I was pregnant, I should say, because I did not find out right away. I found out after I was 10 weeks along. Daniel and I had started dating at that time when I...
Could you answer my question? I mean, I'm not interested in from the year of the flood. I just want to know how
No, he
come
does
the
not.
father doesn't pay child support for the child.
He signed his rights over to Daniel Seabolt.
You mean he terminated his parental rights?
Yes, he did.
With a lawyer?
I don't believe so.
It was between him and I and 2 witnesses and then notarized and sitting in his courthouse, so.
It means nothing.
That's good to know, thank you. I was not of knowledge.
Well, I'm telling you, unless he's been advised of his right to counsel, child has to have an attorney as well before somebody can give up their rights. He's giving up his rights to somebody else who's not the father. Ridiculous. Correct. Your child has the right to be supported by 2 parents. And before somebody can give up their parental rights, there are certain rules and regulations that have to be followed. And you can't just wake up one morning, give yourself a good scratch on the rear end and say, I think I'm going to give up my rights and my responsibility as a father. How old is this other character?
22 as well.
Okay. Now, she stayed in the apartment for 2 months after you moved out.
Yes, Your Honor.
Where did you expect her to go?
I assumed she'd either go to her parents' house, where we actually moved from, because they were kind enough to let me stay there when we found out she was pregnant. I told her upon leaving that I wanted to move back into the apartment, so I was asking her to leave, but I didn't want to put Sierra, our daughter, out. I wanted to keep a roof over her head, and I told her she could either stay there and pay rent, or I asked her kindly to move out.
How long was your lease?
The lease was a year lease.
And how many months did you actually live there?
I lived there from July to December, so that's 7 months.
Did you move back into the apartment?
No, I did not, Your Honor.
Well, are they suing you for the entire remainder of the lease?
I'm not quite sure exactly what they're suing me on.
Well, why don't you let me take a look, since I don't think you understand legal documents very well.
I do not have a copy of how much. I spoke with the representative, Stacy, and she told me...
I'm not interested in what Stacy told you, sir. That's hearsay.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Mr. Seabold, you're 22 years old. What do you do for a living, sir?
I work at Walgreens. I'm a photo specialist.
How high of an education did you have?
I graduated high school.
One of the things you have to have when you come to court is evidence.
Right, yeah.
If you're dealing with a managing company, the managing company will tell you and will be more than happy to memorialize in a writing how much money they are claiming you owe them.
Unfortunately, I couldn't get a hold of the person to send me the facts.
So what do you want me to do, Mr. Seabold? What do you want me to do?
I obviously don't expect you to go and do my research for me.
You're absolutely right. I feel sorry for you because they probably will come after you not only for the 2 months that she lived there, but probably for the remainder of the lease if they haven't rented the apartment. You can't come to court and expect me to get your proof for you. You understand?
Yeah, I understand, Your Honor.
Good. What property did you leave there, Mr. Seabold?
I left my laptop computer.
Where is his computer?
That's exactly why I brought my mother. The computer is not in my possession. Upon Daniel leaving, he took just a duffel bag with some clothes. He did come back to the apartment at one time where an altercation occurred between him and I.
About what?
He came to the apartment with his girlfriend.
Oh, that's not... Why did you do that?
She was my ride. I didn't want to go alone.
Nobody else could drive you there except a new girlfriend?
Unfortunately, yes. I had moved... Sorry.
Tacky. Tacky. Right?
Yeah, not
That's
the
pretty
best choice. I discovered later on, yeah.
Tacky. Okay. Laptop computer, sir. When you leave, it seems to me that's one of the first things you take with you is a laptop computer. Why didn't you take it with you the first time?
I was being a nice guy, and Amanda had asked me to keep it there so she can go online and apply for some jobs.
I have my own laptop computer.
Which doesn't have the capability to go online through a landline. It's only capable of going through DSL, and we did not have that service.
So where's his computer? Don't look down at the floor. Just listen to me. So far, you're not losing, but don't lie.
Oh, I'm not going to lie. My parents are in possession of the PlayStation and the computer.
Oh, fine, so that they can return it to him.
The reason that they have it is there's a large amount of money that Daniel owes my parents.
Just a second. What does Daniel owe your parents money for?
My daughter's christening that he had said he was prepared to pay for the day of the christening. After the guests had left the christening party, my parents had to pay because he was not prepared to.
What else?
My parents paid rent in November, but it was actually December. It was November's rent they paid because we were behind.
What else?
I don't even know, honestly.
Listen to me very carefully. You can stand up next to your daughter. Mr. Seabold may be a 22-year-old idiot, but I'm not. You expect him to pay for a christening for a child that's not his?
He agreed to pay for the christening.
Look, listen to me. Shh.
He planned...
Listen to me. This is your daughter.
Right.
This is your grandchild.
Oh, yeah.
You pay for the christening.
Sure.
You cannot keep his computer. You cannot keep his PlayStation. You cannot keep any of his property. Do I make myself clear?
Sure.
Good. Your daughter lived in an apartment, and if you helped out with rent for a month, you helped your daughter, right?
Sure.
Perfect. So, PlayStation and computer. What else, Mr. Seabold?
There was
Don't leave yet. Are you living with your parents, by the way?
No, I am not.
Who are you living with?
My grandmother.
How come?
Due to a situation between my parents and I.
What kind of situation?
There are problems with my teenage brother and myself that I'm old enough to not need to live there, and my brother is a minor, so he needs to stay at his parents. So I have taken my daughter, and I am at my grandmother's.
That computer better be returned to him, as well as the PlayStation, in perfect condition.
They were not in perfect condition when taken.
Exactly the same way as they were when they were taken.
Absolutely.
Don't mess around with me.
No,
You'll be
you can
very
have 'em all.
unhappy if you mess around with me.
I believe
me.
you.
What else?
There was a RCA 19-inch television set.
Where's the TV?
The TV was taken out of the apartment by Daniel and was taken to wherever he was at that time.
That is true. I was debating on whether or not I should try to put this in the case. I stayed at some friend's house, and when I moved out, there were some skirmishes between us and them, and he told me that he gave it back to Amanda.
You cannot tell me what anybody told you.
I apologize, Your Honor.
You get back your computer and your PlayStation.
Yes, Your Honor.
What's a 22-year-old man need a PlayStation for? What do you do with it?
I use it for entertainment, for relaxation.
He doesn't work. He lived at our house for a year and never paid a penny. He doesn't have a car. He didn't have a job. When he had a job, he took her car.
So?
So we supported him. That's why he had a lot of time to play PlayStation.
How old are you?
40.
How old was he, 20?
Yeah.
He was 20. So he's staying home, sharing a room with your daughter, playing his PlayStation, and you're supporting them. Is that right?
Yes.
That doesn't make you too smart.
No, believe me.
But that's what you chose to do.
Right.
He doesn't owe you money for that.
No, he doesn't.
Right.
Gratitude would be nice.
Did you get gratitude from your daughter?
More than him.
Not enough. Right, Miss Deaton?
Oh, not enough. Not right now, no.
Right. I assumed so. We won't go there because this is only a half-hour program. Now let's get to your counterclaim. Your counterclaim is for your security deposit back.
Correct.
You used your high school money, $1,000 for security deposit.
Correct.
How long did you live in the apartment?
Till January.
Were you working?
I was working from October to January, yes.
How much were you earning?
Not a lot. I was very part-time.
Okay,
Daniel
you were
was
very
working
part-time.
full-
So who was paying the rent?
Daniel and my parents.
Well, your parents paid 1 month. That's what you told me about 5 minutes ago.
Correct.
The rest of the 5 months, Daniel paid. Right?
Correct. Correct. However, the security deposit paid for July and August. So Daniel paid September, October, and $100 of December.
How could, just a second, how could your security deposit pay for the first 2 months?
Because of Daniel's credit, we had to pay a double security deposit.
Fine. And how many months did you live there? 2.
Correct.
Good.
Daniel Seabolt says ex-girlfriend Amanda Deaton lied to him, claiming he was the father of her baby. He is suing for unpaid rent and the return of his PlayStation and computer.
Okay, Miss Deaton, you lived there for a couple of months after he moved out. You had a choice. You could have moved back to your parents. You're a teenager with a baby. You chose to stay there. You ate up your security deposit. You don't get it back. You do get back your PlayStation, your computer. 5 days, 9 a.m. Be there or be square. Thank you. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Felicia Hammond is suing her neighbor, 22-year-old Ashley Francis, for damage to her car. Felicia says Ashley's son, 7-year-old Derek, scratched her bumper when he crashed his bike.
Miss Hammond, how long have you and Miss Francis been neighbors?
Approximately a year.
You have children?
No.
Who do you live with?
Myself.
How many children do you have?
1. Derek.
Cute. It is your claim, Miss Hammond, that this adorable little boy fell off his bike and scratched the bumper of your car.
Yes.
You want his mother to pay for that scratch.
Yes.
Can I see the picture of the scratch?
Yes.
You're talking about this little scratch right here.
Yes.
Does it have any other scratches on it?
No, ma'am.
So, tell me what happened.
On January 1st, 2005, I was looking out of my bedroom window. Derek was riding his bicycle in the middle of the street. He ran into my car. His front wheel of his bicycle hit my passenger back wheel. And the way the bike fell, I guess the pedal of his bike must have scratched my bumper. I immediately went outside to check the damages, and that's when I noticed the scratch on my bumper. I went back in the house, contacted the police.
That's one of the things in your complaint that I didn't understand. Why did you call the police?
For a police report.
Why?
Just in case she didn't want to pay, just for my evidence.
Well, instead of going over to Miss Francis first, before you call the police, I mean, that wouldn't have been my first reaction. I mean, might have been my first reaction if a big boy came up to your car and took a rock and scratched it. I mean, that's vandalism. This wasn't vandalism. This was an accident.
It was an accident, yes.
So I don't understand your overreaction in calling the police.
Well, I wouldn't consider it an overreaction, but that was just...
well, you may not consider it an overreaction. But I'm telling you it was an overreaction.
Okay, well, that's what I did, and then after that, I went over and talked to his mother.
What did you say to her when you went over
I
there?
told her that her son was riding his bicycle. He fell off the bicycle, and his bicycle damaged my bumper.
Did you tell her you would call the police?
I told her I called the police.
What was her reaction when you told her you called the police?
She just said, okay, we'll wait till they get here, and we'll take it from there. And she told me that she would pay me for the damages.
Is that the conversation you had?
Well, first of all, he fell off his bike. He came home to me, and his leg was all scraped up, and he was crying. 2 minutes later, I got a knock on the door, and she was telling me, your son hit my car with his bike. I saw him hit my car with his bike. You will pay for it. I told her right now I'm not in a position to pay for anything. Me and my mother had talked, and she asked, did I see it happen? Did Derek remember if it happened? Derek just remembered he fell off the bike.
Derek remembered he fell off the bike and hurt himself.
Right.
Let us say, Miss Francis, that Derek fell off of his bike and scratched the bumper of her car.
Right.
That's what happened.
That's what she's saying.
I'm telling you that's what happened.
Okay. Well, there was also several kids that always play in that neighborhood.
Don't make excuses. Derek fell off of his bike. She saw him fall off the bike at the exact same moment. He came home crying that he had fallen off his bike. He scraped his leg. It all fits. I don't care how many other people were around the car or around the neighborhood or around the planet.
Okay.
He didn't mean it. It was an accident. Unfortunately, Miss Hammond was not a good neighbor.
And the way that she...
I'm telling you, Miss Hammond, you were not a good neighbor. And if you had had little children, the first call wouldn't have been to the police to file a police report.
Okay,
The first call would have been to Miss Francis to say, your little boy just fell, is he okay? That would have been the first call. He fell and he scratched my car. Do you get it?
I get it, but I didn't know that he had damaged his leg.
Yes. Just a second, of course. Well, that's the question you ask.
He got back...
I want quiet. The question that you ask is, I saw Derek fall off his bike. Is he okay?
Well, when he fell, he got back on the bike and he rode off.
So he wasn't an extremist, which means he's okay.
He was, yeah.
As it happened, he hurt himself. Scratched leg, scratched bumper. How old are you?
7. He just turned 7 September 16th.
So he's thinking 7, okay? Your car is 10. He's 7.
Yes.
Scratched leg, scratched bumper. You got it?
Yes.
All right. You have an estimate for the damage?
ma'am.
I'd like to take a look at it. Is that about right, Bert? $300 to fix it?
Guess so.
$376 to be exact. You have to have a perfect bumper.
But can't they just paint the scratch? Because when we
Bumpers
scratch...
aren't. I'm told that they're made out of a different material, that you can't use touch-up paint. Is that right?
That's right.
Otherwise, believe me, $9.95 she would have gotten a little touch-up paint and touch it up, but you can't do that with a bumper. I know. Somebody just did it to my bumper. Judgment to the plaintiff in the amount of $376. Okay.
Thank you,
Be a
Your
good
Honor.
neighbor.
Well,
Goes much further. That's all.
Christine Bergdahl says ex-roommate Steven Sanchez owes for 2 months' rent and a security deposit.
Mr. Sanchez, did you have trouble finding the courthouse today, sir?
Not at all. Found it just fine.
Did you get here on time?
Yes, I did.
Did you?
15 till.
Huh?
No.
Well, what happened, Miss Bergdahl? Why couldn't you find the courthouse?
Because I've been under the weather a little bit, and it took me a while to get here today.
Are you sick?
Yes, ma'am.
What's the matter with you?
Well, I've been working for Red Cross in Louisiana, and since I've been back, I've had a cold, and I haven't recovered from it yet. And I haven't had a home to go to. So I've been moving from place to place with my luggage, and it's took a toll on my health.
Can I say something, Your Honor?
Let me go into what the lawsuit is. I'm going to give you plenty of opportunity to speak, Mr. Sanchez. Ms. Bergdahl, this is what your lawsuit is about. You claim that Mr. Sanchez moved into your apartment with you. You lived together as roommates for about 6 months. He was supposed to pay half the rent. He didn't, but that's not what you're suing him for. You're suing him because you moved out in September. You told him to move out in September. He didn't move out in September. Your name is the only one on the lease. He didn't pay September's rent. He was still there in October. He didn't pay October's rent, as a result of which you lost your deposit on the apartment, which you claim was $1,000. You want Mr. Sanchez to pay the $1,000 that you lost in the deposit that the landlord kept, plus the $1,400 for rent for the month of September when you moved out.
Yes.
And now Mr. Sanchez wants to say something. So within the context of this case, sir, what do you want to tell me?
I was just going to say I've been under the weather, too, as you can hear in my voice.
Felt better
Made
in
it
my
on
day,
time,
too,
so
Bird.
that's all
I
I'm
know
gonna
used
say.
to be better 10 years ago. You wake up, you have aches, you have pains, but when you have to get someplace, you get there, and you get there on time.
Correct.
Anything else you want to tell me right now? No, good. All right, Miss Bergdahl, when did he move into your apartment?
He moved into my apartment at the end of January of 2005.
And how did you know each other?
We had mutual acquaintances before, and we slowly became friends.
And you moved out September what?
September the 9th.
Did you pay September's rent?
Yes, I did.
When did you move out?
Actually,
Is not an answer.
I am still residing there, and I'm in the process of working with the management company right now on that place.
How much rent did you pay in September?
$400.
Is that right?
He paid September. He paid half of. He did not pay $400. He paid $362 for half the rent in September.
What was the whole rent? What's the whole rent?
$725, ma'am.
You're still there?
That is correct.
And you're working with the management company to take over her lease?
That is correct.
Then you have to give her $1,000. If she can prove to me that she gave them $1,000, show it to me.
Of that 1,000, I did participate with 300 of that 1,000.
Steven Sanchez owes everybody money. I'm the last person.
Just a second. Shh. Mr. Sanchez, just show me that you gave her $300.
And that's the problem. My work schedule does not allow me to gather up information, and that's the problem that I have. So
Well, you want to know what the problem you have?
it's bad. It's a bad problem. I'm
Glad
sorry.
you said that, sir. What kind of work do you do?
I'm
Not an answer.
a manager at a car dealership, and it requires me to be there from open
You're
to
a
close.
manager at a car dealership.
Correct.
What kind of car dealership?
Fords.
Bird comes in with his lovely wife, Felicia, and wants to buy a Ford. And they come to you. You sit down, you work out a contract.
Correct.
And do you sell anybody a car? Do you order a car unless they do all the paperwork and sign all the paperwork? I know I've bought cars.
At
There's usually a
times.
ton of paperwork, right?
Correct.
So you know that when you're buying a car, you have to be prepared to do a lot of paperwork. When you come to court, you don't come with a smile, Mr. Sanchez. You come with evidence, sir. So I don't know what that piece of paper is that you have with you, but if you claim that you gave her $300, then you bring proof of that.
Correct.
All right. So you have to give her $1,000. That's numero uno, despite the fact that she's late, without a legitimate excuse. Now let's deal with the rent. Did you pay October's rent? She wasn't there. You were there. Did you pay October's rent?
The situation with that was when she went to her retreat.
Just a second.
I'm leading up to the situation
I
at
don't
hand.
listen. Life is short. I'm
Correct.
getting older by the minute. I'll let you expand on the answer if I need it. Did you pay October's rent?
No, I did not, because
Okay,
I wasn't allowed to.
Just a second. Did you live there?
Can I say something,
Just-
please?
Did you live there?
Yes, I did.
Fine. Now, who do you think is responsible for October's rent?
She's on the lease.
Right, and she wasn't living there.
Correct.
You were living there.
Correct.
Just a second. You know, you made me nervous. Something is going in my eye. Bird, look over here. Do you see? Oh, I got it. Thank you very much. Thank you. Does this look all right?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're doing good.
Thank you. All right. Listen to me very carefully, sir. The landlord is not related to you in any way. The landlord, I assume, is not related to Miss Bergdahl in any way. Is that right?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So we have to craft this order so that the landlord gets paid their money. What you're going to tell me, Mr. Sanchez, is that you were not permitted to pay the landlord rent because you were not on the lease.
Correct.
Is that what you were going to tell me? You see
read
what a
my
quick
mind.
learn I am, Mr. Sanchez? That doesn't mean that nobody expects Miss Bergdahl to pay the rent, do you? She wasn't there. She wasn't there in October. Did you pay November's rent?
No.
This isn't hurricane relief, sir. You're living in a place you're supposed to pay rent. So
The
you
problem-
make out the check to her and you say, pay the rent. Or you make out the check to the landlord give it to her. She'll get it to the landlord because she's on the hook for rent. The landlord's not going to let you off the hook. Not going to let her off the hook. Somebody's going to pay October and November's rent.
Okay. I offered to pay time and time again. What the management company said is we need to talk to our lawyers and then we'll get back to you. I went and talked to, I guess her name was Kathy, and she said that you need to vacate the premises. At that time, I was in the middle of a move going to LA to work for another Ford company, and I decided to stay in town because I got another job offer where I reside because it's closer to family. So instead of opening up another lease for a couple of months, I offered to pay 2 months of rent to stay there. What they had told me was, I didn't even know you were there.
So you were a very good tenant. You were very quiet.
I was very quiet.
You have to pay rent. People pay rent, a mortgage, rent, housing allotment. That's what you do. You don't expect her to pay for you, do you?
No, not at all.
Perfect.
I've offered to pay
How much?
her also, and she denied it.
All right.
Can I say something?
No, do me a favor. I don't listen to tardy people. 700.
He has been asked multiple times by me and the management company to pay something because the person that actually hasn't received any money in 2 months, and he has refused to pay. We've even been over to the house. The landlord even went over to the house requesting money from him, and he didn't hand her
They did
anything.
not come over to look at the house. They came over to assess the situation of what happened and why she left.
And why didn't you pay him then?
Shh. I'm getting to that. The whole
Listen to
situation
me.
of what
Listen
happened.
to me. If it was all very nice, you wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be able to have such a pleasant afternoon.
The living situation was great. Okay, there was no problem. There was just one little issue of a coworker that she lived with that we became.
Listen, I don't care. I have other things to do. I don't care why she left. She left, and if you would have packed your bag and gone at the same time, then she would be stuck with her lease because it's her lease. You chose to live there, sir, for your own convenience. And you're a big boy. How old are you?
Old enough to know.
Is it a secret?
Yes.
It's a secret? How old you are?
33.
If I were 33, I would shout it from the rooftops.
You look 33, by the way.
That's very nice of you.
You're
It's not going to help you one bit. You owe her $1,000 for the security deposit because you're staying in the apartment. You owe the landlord $1,450. 2 checks. One to her, one to the landlord, $1,450. Mill Creek Management, Inc. is who the check gets made payable to. Thank you very much. That's all.
Shannon Hayes is suing her ex-boyfriend, Michael Dorland, for breaking the door handle of her car, breaking her cell phone, and an assault.
Miss Hayes, according to the complaint that I've read, Mr. Dorland was your boyfriend for a period of time, and it is your claim that during the course of an argument, you were in your car, he damaged your car. Subsequently, I believe, he destroyed a cell phone that you had purchased, and he stepped on your hand, causing your hand to be injured. You want him to compensate you for those things. Mr. Dorland says none of that is true. You almost killed him in your car. He was trying to get out of your car, that you destroyed your own phone, and you also hurt your own hand. What happened first?
What happened first was my car.
Why don't you tell me about it?
On September 10th, Mr. Dorland and I were driving, and we were staying at a bed and breakfast. We had been in an argument. We got in my car. We're driving away.
Driving where?
Towards Manitou Springs. I stopped at a convenience store, and he was getting ready to get out, and he went to open the door, and he yanked the door open. But he yanked so hard that he broke the door handle.
Go ahead. What happened next?
And when he got upset because he broke it, he looked at me, he said, "I'm sorry I did that. I did not mean to yank it that hard." I said, "Get out of my car." He started to roll down the window, and when he rolled down the window, he jumped out of the car and proceeded to break the rearview mirror on the right-hand side.
Okay, what happened next?
Then I was pretty upset, so I just looked at him and I put it in reverse, and I went back into Manitou Springs.
Where was he when you put it in
Standing
reverse?
at 7-Eleven.
How did he get out of the car?
He went out the window.
Okay, so you want him to pay for the broken handle and the broken mirror.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Dorland, let's do one thing at a time so we can keep this organized.
Sure.
Let's go.
I was trying to get out of the car because she was going to take me down to her friend's house, and I didn't know if they were going to jump me, beat me, or whatever.
Why would they do that?
She hangs around with some pretty low people. At that time, she was still hanging around with drug dealers and people that were borrowing her car and doing more damage to her car than what anybody else was doing.
You mean anybody
she'd
else?
lose her car.
You mean anybody else? You mean you?
No.
All right, why don't you tell me your version of what happened on September 10th?
We went down, we got to bed and breakfast, and then we were going down to Manitou, like she said. She started a fight, so I started walking back. Then I got in the car. We went to 7-Eleven. Lo and behold, we get ready to pull out of 7-Eleven. She goes, well, we're not going back to the bed and breakfast. I'm going back to see my friends. You're going with me. No, I'm not. So I quickly grabbed the door and I pulled it open to get it up, to open it, and it snapped. It's just a little piece of plastic. So I crawled out the window. She was in reverse moving the car when I was trying to get out the window.
Miss Hayes, once he broke the door handle and he wanted out of the car, why didn't you get out of the car and go over and open the door from the outside?
Because I was scared. He scared me.
Well, instead of being inside the car with him, you get out of the car if he was scaring you, and you're at a 7-Eleven, so you go over to his door. Either you go over to his door and you open the door, or you go to somebody else and say, will you open the door, please, because I want him out of my car, instead of staying in the car with him.
I wasn't thinking that at the time. I was just
Well, I
thinking, get out of my
wasn't thinking
car.
either. I tend to believe, Mr. Dorland, that you started to move the car while he was trying to get out through the window.
Yeah.
All right. What's next?
He wanted a cell phone, and he could not get one in his name.
You mean after this happened in September?
Yes.
After this happened in September, you made up at some point?
Yes.
How long did it take you to make up?
A couple of weeks.
Go ahead.
We had gotten back together. I took him to T-Mobile. The guy at the stand said, well, why don't you try it? And I said, no, my credit's terrible, can't do that. Turns out I could get him a phone in my name for $35. So we got it in my name, but he promised to pay me.
$35?
He paid the $35. He paid the $35. He
So
promised
he
to pay
paid
the
the
monthly bill.
$35.
Yes, he promised to pay the monthly bill.
Yes?
Eventually, we got into another argument at his house. I was getting everything packed up outside, and he wouldn't let me in. So I asked him to open the door, and as he opened the door, I got it open enough to stick my foot in. I said, I want my phone, please. He said, no, I'm not giving you your phone. I said, I need my phone.
Well, he had paid for the phone, so it's not your phone, it was his phone.
He hadn't paid the monthly bill, he paid $35.
But there wasn't a monthly bill yet.
I hadn't got the bill yet, no.
Go ahead.
He took the phone and he broke it in half. He threw one half at me and he took the other half. And I had my cell phone in my hand. My cell phone dropped between the door and my foot. I went to pick up my cell phone, he stepped on my foot, or my hand, excuse me. I got my cell phone, stepped into my car, and he told me he was sorry, and I said, no, just leave me alone. And thereafter, I proceeded to call the police.
So $35 you don't get because that's part of your lawsuit for the cell phone, because he paid for the cell phone.
Okay.
Now, so let's talk about the hand, sir.
Can I kind of like tell you my version of that? Because
Yeah,
it's real quick.
I would love to hear it, and I would love to hear it quickly.
Okay, she drove up to my house, and when I open the door, I always put my foot right in front so that when she tries to kick her way in the house, she can't get in there. I was trying to keep her at bay. I shut the door and went out the back door and then went up to another store and was calling everybody I knew to come and witness this psychotic person throwing stuff at the windows. She was kicking on the door. There were footprints on the door. She kicked in the side of the doggy door. She broke into my house that evening. Here's a police report that specifies that.
Did you make up again?
No. I know I was pretty stupid to make up with her before.
Just a second. You made up with her more than once.
Yes, I did. I was trying to help her out. A mutual friend said that she was okay.
Get to the
but
hand, would you please?
last I talked to her, you know, everything was done and she was going to leave me alone.
Hand. Get to the injured hand.
There was no injured hand.
She called the police. What happened when the police came?
By the time they had gotten there, it really wasn't that bad.
How bad was it?
Well, it was bad enough to hurt me. I couldn't
Did you go to
bend
the
it.
doctor?
No.
Did you go to a hospital? Yes. No. Where do you work?
I'm a housewife.
Whose housewife?
My own.
Well, where's your husband?
I'm divorced.
Then you're not a housewife.
I'm a homemaker.
That's different. A homemaker for whom?
My mom. I'm unemployed.
Here you go. You were arrested.
Yeah, on another...
Outstanding warrants.
Wasn't for any domestic violence.
For what?
Unpaid ticket.
What kind of ticket?
On a DUI I had back in, 2000.
That's not an antique, by the way, 2000.
No, but honestly, I should have had that paid, and I didn't, and I paid the price
What
for
do
it.
you do for a living, Mr. Dorland?
I'm a pipe fitter.
You work full-time?
Not anymore. I'm starting to. I was trying to start a business. Anytime I got anywhere close, she'd throw the kibosh in it. People didn't want me to work with them because she was calling them and going to the job sites.
Mr. Dorland, who picked her?
I did. I was trying to...
Not once, Mr. Dorland. Twice that I know of, and we only know each other about 7 minutes.
Yeah, that's not
How
so
long was this relationship that you had?
good. In all total, maybe about 3 months. I met her at a bar, a friend of mine said she was all right, and obviously I can't trust his word now.
Mr. Dorland is not Prince Charming. He's not your Prince Charming. Why don't you work?
For 5 years, I haven't been able to work because I've taken care of my children.
How old are your children?
They are 10, 8, and 5.
But they don't live with you.
Not now, they don't. Now I am looking for work.
Who do your children live with?
Their fathers.
Miss Hayes, I wish you good luck looking for a job. You and Mr. Dorland are no longer an item? Good. That makes me feel terrific.
Me too, me too.
It's the best news I've heard all day. Your case is dismissed. Goodbye, good luck. Have a very, very happy life.
Tatiana Levy says her former roommate, Joanna Amrit, disposed of her furniture and slandered her to her father. Tatiana claims Joanna told her father she'd been using cocaine.
Miss Levy, you and the defendant were friendly, and there came a point when you and 2 of your 4 children moved in with Miss Amrit. According to you, there was a disagreement. You left.
Correct.
And took much of your property with you, but left some there, including, according to you, a valuable ring. You claim that Miss Amrit refused to return your property, and in addition, she slandered you to your father.
Correct.
Alleging that you were abusing drugs.
Correct.
You want to be compensated. Miss Amrit says she gave you ample opportunity to get your stuff. She finally disposed of your stuff, with the exception of the ring, which she says she returned to you in the mail, right?
It was actually through a friend, a co-worker where she worked, and I gave it to that person to deliver to her.
Okay. When did you move in with her?
I started staying at Joanna's house probably the 2nd week of July.
You have 4 children?
Correct.
How old are you?
21.
You have enough children.
Yeah.
Forever.
I know.
Where are your 4 children?
Right now?
Yes.
They're with my mother right now.
Where were they in July?
With me. I had 2 of them with me and 2 of them with my mother.
Why did you move in with your 2 children with Miss Amrit?
At first, I wasn't with my children. I was working with her, and I was having problems with my boyfriend, Henry, at the time, and she knew that.
Is Henry the father of any of these children?
Yes. And one day on the way to work, I got pulled over, and I got a ticket for driving on a suspended license.
This is a very, very long story, Miss Levy.
Right.
I asked you why you were staying with her.
Basically, my license was suspended, and she was driving back and forth to work with me every day.
She was driving you to work?
With my car.
Is that right?
Correct, Your Honor.
Where were you working?
Travelers Express.
You too?
Yes.
Did your children ever join you in her house?
Yes, 2 of them.
When?
The 3rd week of July.
So practically as soon as you moved in. When did you move out?
The 29th of July.
So you stayed a very short time.
Correct.
And according to what I read, you had a falling out over child care and what you were doing. According to the defendant, you were having a little too good a party time. Now, you said that you left a valuable ring there when you left. Where did you leave the ring?
In the kitchen.
You leave it there by mistake?
Yes.
Who did you give it to at work?
A woman named Maxine.
You know that person?
Yes.
Did she give you the ring?
Yes.
So you have the ring?
The reason why I have the ring is because I called her, she didn't answer her phone, so I text messaged her.
I don't care. You have the ring? Maxine gave you the ring? Good. Then that's all I care about. What other property did you leave there?
An entertainment center, a dresser, a chest, a mirror.
Furniture?
Yes.
What'd you do with the furniture?
I threw most of it away.
Why?
Because she left it at my house, Your Honor, and she never answered the phone anytime I called her. She would text me back, never calling me back, saying that she would come the next week to pick up the furniture. She never did. I have phone records that show that I've called her, and all these phone records show that she hasn't called me once, except for on the 29th of October when Henry had called her and told her we were coming to pick up my stuff, and she hung up the phone on him.
29th of October?
Yes, but I have phone records that show that I've called her on the 15th of August when she hung up on me.
8:15.
And 8:23, I called her 3 different times.
8:23. Did you speak to her on any of those occasions?
I left her a message. The reason why she...
Just a second. You didn't speak to... Were you all working at the same place?
Yes, but that Friday she had quit working there.
Well, then you weren't working at the same place. 3rd.
No.
August 15th.
No.
Okay. So August, we go into September, we go into the entire month of October. Why didn't you sue her for the return of your property?
Because every time I tried to call her, it was a matter of when my brother could take me to get my stuff. And she told me the only way I could get my stuff back
She wanted me to pay her $150 for staying there, $40 for using her perfume, and what was it, $100 for something else.
So she told you that?
Yes, she text messaged me that.
Just a second. So she told you that as far as she was concerned, you owed her for rent.
Correct.
That's correct.
And I don't know about the perfume. I have no idea about the, but you owed her for rent.
Correct.
And she was keeping your property.
Correct.
Until you paid her for rent.
Correct.
When was that text message?
That was on the 20th of August.
Well, then you knew on the 20th of August that you weren't going to get your furniture back until you paid rent.
Okay.
And you waited 2.5 months after that to sue her for your property.
Okay.
Well, that's unreasonable.
She was actually telling other people that she...
You can't tell me what she told other people.
Okay, well,
That's
she has
hearsay.
the dressers and stuff. She said she was going to keep that for her children.
That's hearsay.
Okay.
But I'm going to ask her where all the stuff is.
Okay.
And she's going to tell me. Is your father here?
Yes, he's right there.
Step up, please. Your last name is?
Levy, same.
Mr. Levy, the second part of your daughter's lawsuit is that when you called Miss Amrit about, I gather, this furniture,
Right.
she said something about your daughter. When did you call her?
It was in August. My
No.
son. Well,
That was in October. Called her.
is it that late?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I left a message on her answer machine because my wife was calling and calling, and I didn't want to get involved. And my wife was calling her and never getting an answer.
I'm talking about you, sir.
All right. What happened was she called me back after I left a message on her answer machine. Once she called me back, I said, "Where's the furniture?" She said, "I don't have it anymore. I gave it away."
Well, that's not true. Miss Amrit didn't do that. You didn't give away all the furniture. You didn't dispose of all... Miss Amrit, look at me. You didn't dispose of all the furniture. Some of the furniture you still have. Is this your child?
Yes.
You don't want to lie in front of your child, do you?
No.
You still have some of the furniture.
No, Your Honor.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you. And that's a very bad thing to fib in front of your daughter. I don't believe people just give away stuff. You may have sold it.
Oh, well, correct, Your Honor. Some
What?
of it, yes, Your Honor.
Oh, well, that's a different story than threw it away. Sold it is a different story. Who did you sell it to?
A gentleman that I know.
Whose name is?
His name is Lemuel.
Usually people have two names.
Is his last name.
And how much did you sell the furniture for?
$200, Your Honor.
Did he purchase all the furniture?
No, not all of it.
What did he purchase?
He purchased a black entertainment center.
What else?
That was it.
What about the two chests?
The two chests?
The two chests. So I ask the questions, you answer me, Miss Amrit. Where are the two chests?
They're no longer at my house, Your Honor.
Miss Amrit, don't play with me. Where are they?
I threw them away, Your Honor. I had a truck come and take them away.
I don't think I believe you. See, you lie once, you get caught in a fib once. Okay, I'd like you to tell me what she said to you about your daughter's behavior.
Right.
Your daughter is also suing for slander.
What happened was, after she told me about the furniture, she said, I had to get your daughter out of the house because she was using cocaine in the house in front of my kids. And I know that doesn't happen because, you know, I'm back and forth with my daughter. I'm raising two of the kids. And during the summer, I had all four most of the time. And I see her all week.
You think she listens to you?
My daughter? No, I know that. She don't always listen.
I have a drug
But
test.
I could tell if she's high on drugs, especially cocaine or something. And she took a voluntary drug
Yeah,
test.
I took a voluntary drug test.
Did you take a hair follicle test?
No, this is just
Don't
an
listen to me.
observed.
Shh,
no.
listen to me. Did you take a hair follicle test? You took a urine test?
Correct.
Listen, Miss Levy, I've been in the business a long time. You want to do a hair follicle test?
That's fine.
Fine. Do a hair follicle test. That part of your lawsuit that has to do with slander and drugs, I'll hold in abeyance.
Okay, it's fine.
Okay? That'll tell you within the last year whether you've used any drugs and what kind of drugs you've used.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. Okay. You understand, sir?
Yes, sir.
Good. Now you can sit down.
All right.
Talk to your daughter about birth control. That would be
It's
useful.
fixed.
Miss Amrit, you can't dispose of her property as cavalierly as you did. I believe you were annoyed that she had not given you any money, that she used some of your property, that the whole business was an unpleasant experience. So I believe that what you did was you sold some of it, maybe you kept some, maybe you gave some to your relatives, maybe you sold some for your relatives. You can't do that. Can I see the bills for the furniture, please?
Yes. That, I'm gonna have this. And the couch and the high chair I have pictures of. I don't have a receipt for that.
What'd you do with the sofa?
I threw it away. It was awful.
Carson's Furniture and Bedding, is this all the stuff that you bought?
The ones that are checked on the side, the
Oh.
dresser, the mirror, the entertainment
A
center.
dresser, mirror, and a four-door chest, is that right?
Yes, and the entertainment center.
All this property was purchased, the delivery date was February 2005. So what you're telling me is you gave away a mirror that was new, a four-door chest that was new, and you sold an entertainment center. Is that what you're telling me?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Now, did you have any sort of an agreement with her to pay rent?
No.
Tell me about the agreement that you say you had for rent.
Your Honor, I'm a single mother. I explained to Miss Levy that I could not afford to support anyone else in my home, so she would have to pay something to me for rent. We agreed upon $150 a week for everything, Your Honor.
You mean food? Who would shop?
Correct.
Excuse me, I bought $200 worth of groceries a week before I left. So the groceries were paid for.
Okay. Miss Amber, you owe her $606. You can't dispose of her property. You can't sell her property. I believe that her family tried to contact you. I believe that you didn't want to be contacted.
That's not...
Unless you have a bill to show me of the truck that you hired to come and dispose of her property, other than the entertainment center, which you acknowledge that you told, I don't believe that you hired a truck to come and take the property out of your garage. Do you understand? And I wouldn't fib in front of my child. It's not a good thing. That's all. Step out.
23-year-old Jessica Whetstone is suing her former friend, 27-year-old Ryan Volstead, for a loan to buy car speakers and gas money.
Bird, we've been involved in the justice system for a very long time, and you know, it's never too late to learn new things. The law is always changing. Today you're going to hear about a new defense, something that I had never heard of, but Mr. Volstead is going to tell us about his new defense to a debt. He and Miss Whetstone met online. They dated once. They became friends, according to her. And shortly thereafter, Mr. Volstead borrowed some money. Two separate occasions, the beginning of July of 2005. The first was a small loan of $40 he needed.
Gas money.
Gas money. And then the next day, which would have been, according to you, July 8th, he needed some more money for what?
To pay for his Bronco to keep it from getting repoed.
Repossessed.
Repossessed.
And how much did he need the next day?
He needed $350 for the speakers. So I told him that I would buy the speakers, hold them for him until he got the money, and then when he got the money, I would give him back the speakers.
So how much money did you give him?
At that time, for the speakers, was $350.
Did you ever get the speakers?
No.
So he didn't give you the speakers and you gave him the money?
Right.
Okay. Why didn't you get the speakers?
He told me that he would have to undo the wiring for the speakers, and he needed the money right away before the title loan company closed.
So he didn't give you the speakers and you gave him the money?
Right.
And you were really supposed to hold the speakers as collateral?
Right.
What happened to your car, Mr. Volstead?
I borrowed the money from Jessica.
Just a second. I asked you what happened to your car.
I was able to keep it.
You did? You still have it?
Yes, I do.
Oh, I thought Miss Whetstone said it was repossessed. The next day, he told me his Bronco was repossessed anyway. Did you tell her that your car was repossessed anyway?
Yes, I had paid my loan, and they sent the repo company out after it anyway when they shouldn't have. Possessed when it wasn't supposed to be.
So they gave it back to you?
They gave it back to me.
With her speakers?
Yes.
Why didn't you pay her the $390? Now we're coming to the defense, which I find interesting.
Well, we had agreed that I asked her, give me a week, I'll be able to get my speakers unwired so I don't have live wires.
We're talking July, sir.
And with my work schedule, it was getting me home very late in the evening. And there was a short point of time where I had no conversation or contact with Jessica. Finally, we had talked, and she said she didn't want the speakers if I was not going to run and not pay her. And she says, as long as you're going to pay me back, then we're not going to have a problem. And I agreed.
When did she tell you that? In what month?
She told me that probably 2 or 3 weeks after she gave me.
In July?
Yes.
So what happened in August, sir?
In the middle of August, I was starting my new job, and I was never home. I had no time during the day for anything. I was driving 70 miles one way to work and back. We had talked a couple of times.
Why haven't you paid her back?
Well,
We're well past July of 2005. Give me your defense.
The defense is there was no time given when I was supposed to have her paid back.
That's not what you tell me your defense was in your answer, sir. Your defense in your answer was she bothered me. And therefore, I don't feel as if I have to pay her back anymore because she stalked me and bothered me.
When there's points of time that she called 15 times in one day.
Why didn't you pay her back?
I didn't have it at the time.
You just told me you were working and driving 70 miles to and from work. You were so busy working, you couldn't even call her.
I had another prior engagement that I had to take care of and that she was aware of.
What kind of other prior engagement?
I was trying to get another vehicle back in my possession that I had a time frame for.
Listen, hold on to your money, right? Hold on to your money. Mr. Volstead, you have a counterclaim. Your counterclaim, I'm going to give you exactly 30 seconds to tell me about what your counterclaim is, unless you want to say, Judge, I don't want to go forward with this harassment counterclaim.
Upon a week after...
So you want 30 seconds?
Yes,
then you
please.
better talk faster.
After she told me there was a certain date she wanted the money or she was going to take me to court, I told her I didn't have it right then to give me another 2 weeks. She said, if you don't have it by this date, don't come by my house, don't send any correspondence to my house, talk to my family or friends, or I'll nail you for harassment. At that point in time, I figured, okay, well, if that's what it's going to cost for the friendship, be it.
What's your lawsuit about?
Within a week after that conversation, I had 4 tires on my vehicle with all the air out of them. I had to have the tire company come out and blow the air.
So what? What does that have to do with her?
I figured that was one of her last marks for revenge.
Who cares what you figured? Do you have any proof of that?
No, I do not.
So what are you bothering me for? This is a court. What else?
I got fed up with her trying to harass me every single day, calling me a liar, almost getting me evicted out of my apartment after I already made amends with my landlord, with my neighbors telling me that I have someone beating on my door late at night until they woke up.
Grow up. Grow up. Accept responsibility for what you're supposed to take care of. You borrowed this money, you said you would pay it back, and you should have done it. Clear?
Yes.
Good. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $390. Your counterclaim, nonsense, is dismissed.
Talent agent Theolani DeGuire is suing the owner of a Polynesian dance company, 28-year-old Lauren Michaels, for non-payment of services rendered.
Miss Michaels, what kind of work do you do?
I have a Polynesian entertainment company.
And your company provides Polynesian entertainment for whom?
For clients, shows.
What kind of show did you hire people for that is involved in this case?
A car show.
Had you dealt with Miss DeGuire before?
No, I haven't.
How did you find her?
I went on the internet. I was in a position where I needed one more act, and it was like the night before.
So you needed another act for the car show. You found her ad on the internet.
Actually, no. I found someone else's ad, and they said, we don't do any last-minute gigs like this, and here's her number.
Fine. This is what the situation is. You contacted her, and she was to provide you with 2 or 3 young women who were going to dance at this car show. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
And the agreed-upon fee was $300.
That's correct.
So far? That's correct. Hold up.
3 girls.
Okay. These are 2 of the 3 girls?
Yes, it is.
And they performed?
Yes, they did.
Miss Michaels, according to your complaint, gave the girls $200.
Yes, she gave them $200.
Check for $200. And then she put a stop payment on that check.
Yes, she did.
Now, Miss Michaels, you're going to tell me why you put a stop payment on that check.
Okay. There was a lot of broken agreements. They were supposed to meet me at 4:30. They showed up 3.5 hours late. 5 minutes before the show time.
Yes.
They said they're going to let me choose between 2 to 3 costumes. And I didn't have that opportunity. They're still cutting
So why don't you send them home when they got there 5 minutes before the event?
Because I wanted to fulfill my commitment.
So if you wanted to fulfill your commitment, then you let them perform, right? That's why you didn't send them home. What I'm asking you is why you stopped payment on the check. And I haven't heard anything yet.
Because when I saw the videotape afterwards of what was promised for a professional show, because I have act number 1, which is my group, which is a professional act, and what was promised for a professional show and matching costumes and all of that, I'm backstage with my girls. They're going on.
So what you're telling me is you weren't satisfied with the performance?
Not at all.
Good. Listen to me very carefully, madam. I want you to think about you taking several of your clients into a restaurant, and you have a reservation for 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock comes and goes, and they don't seat you. They say, we're not going to be able to seat you until 9 o'clock. Look at me. So you decide to wait. You don't say to your friends, we're going to go to a different restaurant. You decide to wait. And you wait till 9 o'clock, and then you sat down to eat. And you eat, and you really don't like the food. You finish whatever you finish. You have dessert, you have coffee, bill comes, you pay it. And then you call your credit card company and say, I want to stop payment on this check because I didn't like my dinner. You think that's reasonable? If you waited until the last minute to book another act and you needed another act, I'm speaking.
Okay.
And these people show up and they hadn't fulfilled, according to you, their agreement, then you say to them, ladies, go home.
Yes.
I'm not going to potentially embarrass myself by putting on an unknown. What you can't do, Miss Michaels, is put the act on and then say, I didn't like them, and I'm not going to pay you.
I never said that I wasn't going to pay them.
Of course you did. You stopped payment on the check.
I stopped payment. We spoke, and I said, whatever out-of-pocket expense that you had to pay the girls, I will give that to you, and that wasn't satisfactory to her.
It's not satisfactory. You had an agreed price. The agreed price was $300. Your choice was, when they were late, to send them home. Because it wasn't just that they were late. If they were late and wonderful, you wouldn't have had a problem. But you didn't know these people. You didn't know whether they could dance. You didn't know whether they could sing. You didn't know whether they had nice costumes. Yeah, you didn't know anything about them.
I made a poor judgment.
You did.
Yes.
And that's what business is all about. You make a poor judgment and you learn from your mistakes. You try to book an act at the last minute and you get people. Where are you from?
Moreno Valley.
You're not from Hawaii, are you?
No.
You're not from French Polynesia, are you? No. And where are you from?
Corona.
Corona. That's not in Polynesia, is it?
No. She's Hawaiian.
I don't care whether she's Hawaiian or Yiddish. She's not French Polynesian. You had a contract. If she is not fulfilling the contract by arriving at an appropriate time and giving you an opportunity to screen the talent, send them home. You can't use them and then decide you didn't like the meal. Do I make myself clear? Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $300. That's all.
You may step out.
এর মধ্যে আমি যতবার দেশের বাইরে গেছি, যদি বিমানে উঠেছে, আমাকে স্টাফরা দেখেই বলেছে, আপা নোবেল ভাই আসছিল, হজে গেল তো কদিন আগে। তাই নাকি? আচ্ছা, নোবেলেরও একই অবস্থা।
আপনাদেরকে যখন আমরা ভাবি না যে ছোটবেলা থেকে অনেকে ভেবেছে যে আপনারা বোধহয় হাজব্যান্ড ওয়াইফ আর কি, কিংবা যখন শুনেছে যে নোবেল ভাইয়ের বউ আসলে আরেকজন, তখন অনেকে ভেবেছে হ্যাঁ সত্যি, অনেকে হতাশ হয় আর কি। কিন্তু আপনারা যে ইন্ডিভিজুয়ালি আলাদা আলাদাভাবে হ্যাপি আছেন এবং পাশাপাশি আপনাদের কখনো আমি প্রেমের কোনো গুঞ্জন শুনিনি। আসলে কি আপনাদের ভেতরে কোনোই প্রেম ছিল না? যদি না থাকে তাহলে এরকম ম্যাজিক্যাল কেমিস্ট্রি আসে কিভাবে?
দুজনের একটা স্বচ্ছ সম্পর্ক, দুজনের একটা স্বচ্ছ ক্লিয়ার একটা বন্ধুত্ব, যেটা আমি মনে করি, এবং অসম্ভব ভালো একটা বন্ধুত্ব। এবং নোবেল এমন একটা মানুষ, ও কিন্তু মিডিয়ার হিসাবে যদি তুমি বলো, আমাকে বলতে বলো, আমি বলবো একটা গুড বয়। যখন ওর অল্প বয়স, আমরা যখন একসাথে কাজ করেছি, তখন থেকে আমি ওকে দেখেছি 5 ওয়াক্ত নামাজ পড়তে, এবং ভীষণ মা বাবার খুব বাধ্য একটা সন্তান, খুব বাবা মাকে টেক কেয়ার করার মতন একটা মানুষ। এবং নোবেল এরকম ছিল, পল্লব হয়তো এমনও ঘটনা আছে যে হোন্ডা নিয়ে এসে বলছে, এই ওঠ ঘুরে আসি, উঠতে যাবো, হয়তো নোবেল বলেছে যেও না বন্ধু ঘুরে। আমি বলছি কেন যাবো না নোবেল, যেও না। কারণ ও জানতো এইটা নিয়ে আমরা যাদের সামনে দিয়ে যাচ্ছি তারাই গল্প করবে। ও আমাকে সবসময় প্রোটেক্ট করেছে। কদিন আগে ফোন করেছি একটা কাজে, ওকে টেক্সট করেছি, কারণ ওকে তো পুট করে ফোন করি না, ব্যস্ত থাকে। এর মধ্যে আমি যতবার দেশের বাইরে গেছি, যদি বিমানে উঠেছে, আমাকে স্টাফরা দেখেই বলেছে, আপা নোবেল ভাই আসছিল, হজে গেল তো কদিন আগে। তাই নাকি? আচ্ছা, নোবেলেরও একই অবস্থা। ও যদি বিমানে উঠেছে, ও মহাপাত গেল, বাচ্চাকে পুষ্পিতাকে নিয়ে গেছে, তো দুজনেরই একই অবস্থা। তা আমি ওকে টেক্সট করেছি, বন্ধু একটু কথা বলতে চাই, ফ্রি হয়ে ফোন দিস। তো ও লিখেছে, আমি তোমাকে 10 মিনিটসে ফোন করছি। ঠিকই 10 মিনিটসে ও বিজি ছিল, কল ব্যাক করেছে। তো দুজনের কাজের কথাটা সেরে আমি বললাম, নোবেল বলো তোমার কি সময় আছে, আমি একটু গল্প করতে পারবো? বললাম হ্যাঁ। বন্ধু তাহলে একটা গল্প করতেই হয়। ওর বাড়িতে কোনো একটা জায়গা থেকে ওরা ডিম বা এরকম অর্গ্যানিক কিছু জিনিস ওরা রাখে নোবেলের বাসায়। শম্পাকে শুনছি বলতে যে আপনি দিচ্ছেন না কেন, এগুলো টাইম হয়ে গেছে, এগুলো আপনি টাইমলি দিচ্ছেন না, আজকে এরকম দেরি হয়েছে। বলকে ম্যাডাম কোন বাসা? তো বলছে যে গুলশান, এত নাম্বার বা হাউস, এত নাম্বার রোড, এই সেই। বলকে কে? আচ্ছা দাঁড়ান ম্যাডাম একটু দাঁড়ান। তো কাগজে দেখে না নাম লেখা থাকে, নাম দেখে বলছে যে ও আচ্ছা 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 আদিল সাহেবের বাসা। বলে হ্যাঁ নোবেল সাহেবের বাসা। নোবেল সাহেবের বাসা থেকে বলছি আমি, আপনারা তো এত তারিখে আপনাদের দেওয়ার কথা জিনিসটা দেননি কেন? বলে ম্যাডাম সরি ভুল হয়ে গেছে, আমি পাঠিয়ে দিচ্ছি। আপনি কি বলছেন? তো শম্পা বলছে আমি ওনার ওয়াইফ বলছি। তো যে কথা বলছে সে জিজ্ঞেস করছে মানে মহাপু তো তুমি কবের গল্প করছো, এটা তো রিসেন্ট। তো তখন আমি দুষ্টুমি করে নোবেলকে বললাম, নোবেল চল জাহিদকে আর শম্পাকে বিষ খাইয়ে, ওদের বেঁচে থেকে তো কোনো লাভ নেই। আসলেই তো তাই। তো সেটাই বললাম, আমার ওর সাথে এরকম স্বচ্ছ সুন্দর একটা সম্পর্ক।
জাহিদ ভাই আমাদের একটা অনুষ্ঠানে বলেছে যে তার প্রিয় জুটি, মানে আমি প্রশ্ন করেছিলাম মৌ জাহিদ মৌ নোবেল কে প্রিয় জুটি, বলে অবভিয়াসলি মৌ নোবেল।
সুন্দর বলেছে।
কিছুদিন আগে আপনি জারিফকে নিয়ে একটি ছবি দিয়েছিলেন। জারিফকে আপনি আদর করছেন, একটা মা তার সন্তানকে আদর করছে, অ্যাফেকশন দেখাচ্ছে, এবং সেটি নিয়েও কিছু কুরুচিপূর্ণ মানুষ অনেক কিছু লিখেছে, ট্রল করেছে। আপনার কি তাদের দেখে করুণা হয় নাকি আফসোস হয়?
আমি যখন এটা দেখেছি, আমি যতটুকু না কষ্ট পেয়েছি, আমার ছেলে ভেঙে চুরে শেষ হয়ে গেছে। ও কিন্তু 20 বছর ওর বয়স, এবং ও এটা দেখেনি, ওর বন্ধুরা ওকে পাঠিয়েছে এবং বারবার করে আমাকে, ওর এই অবস্থা যে অনেক ভাষাগুলো ও বোঝেনি। ও এতটা, আমার বাচ্চারা কিন্তু আমার সাথে খুব ফ্রি, কিন্তু ও এতটা লজ্জা পেয়েছে যে ও একটা বাথরুম থেকে বসেও আমাকে টেক্সট করে আমাকে এটা পাঠাচ্ছে আর বলছে মা এটা কি, এরা কারা এই ধরনের কথা লিখছে এবং কেন? আম্মা আমরা কি কিছু করতে পারি না? এবং যখন আমি ওকে বের করে নিয়ে এসেছি বাথরুম থেকে, আমি দেখছি যে ও একদম কান্নায় ভেঙে গিয়ে আমাকে জড়িয়ে ধরে কাঁদছে। আমি ওকে বোঝাতে চেষ্টা করছি, কিন্তু ও একটাই কথা বলছে, মা তোমাকে নিয়ে কথা বলেছে, তোমাকে একলা নিয়ে বলেছে, আমাকে আমার মাকে নিয়ে কথা বলছে। মা ওদের কি মা নাই? আমি কি উত্তর দেবো রুম্মান ওকে?
যারা এই ধরনের কথা বলে, আসলে যারা এই ধরনের কথা লিখে, আপনারা কি একজন মায়ের চোখে পানিটা দেখতে পাচ্ছেন? কারণ একজন মা, তাকে নিয়ে যা ইচ্ছা বলা যায় এবং সে সেগুলো হজম করে নিতে পারে, কিন্তু যখন তার সন্তানকে নিয়ে বলে, মায়ের এই চোখের অশ্রু কিন্তু আসলে অনেকের জন্য হয়তো বদদোয়া হয়ে আসবে। কি বলেন আপনি?
আমি নিজেও তখন কতগুলো জিনিস নিয়ে খুব অবাক হয়েছি, এবং এত কথা মানে আমি আসলেই অনেক কিছু আমি নিজেই নিতে পারিনি। আর আমার তখন মনে হচ্ছিল কি আমি কাকে মানে কোথায় এগুলো বন্ধ করব, কিন্তু ওরও তো কিছু বন্ধু বান্ধব আছে, ওকেও পাঠাচ্ছে, সবগুলোর ভাষাও বুঝতে পারছে না। মানে দিয়ে ও আমাকে যে ধরনের প্রশ্ন করছিল, আমি সেই প্রশ্নগুলোর উত্তর দিতে পারছি না। আমি অনেক চেষ্টা করেছি, তখন বলছে মা তোমাকে একা নিয়ে বলেছে, এখানে তো আমার মাকে নিয়ে বলছে। তখন একটা কথা আমি বোঝানোর চেষ্টা করলাম, বাবা সবার মা আর তোমার মা তো এক না। একটা জিনিস আমার আজকে খুব মনে পড়ছে, আমি যখন অল্প বয়সে আমার স্কুলে পড়েছি, আমার কিছু টিচারদের কথাও আমার আজকে মনে পড়ছে। আমার একটা বাংলা টিচার ছিলেন মিসেস বিলকিস, একটা কবিতা পড়িয়েছিলেন, পাছে লোকে কিছু বলে। আমরা সবাই পড়েছি, তুমিও হয়তো পড়েছো কবিতাটা। মানে এখন যেটার মূল্য বুঝতে পারছি, তখন টিচার বুঝে বলেছিলেন যে পাছে লোকে সব সময় তোমাকে নিয়ে কথা বলবে। তো এখন যেটা আসলে বুঝতে পারছি যে কিছু মানুষ আছে কিন্তু সবসময় তোমাকে নিয়ে কথা বলবে। তো ওটা আমরা বুঝলেও অনেক সময় আমাদের বাচ্চাদের যে বয়স এখন চলছে সেটা তারা বোঝার চেষ্টা করছে না বা বুঝতে পারছে না। হয়তো তারা যখন বুঝবে সেটার এই হয়তো ওই মূল্যটাই আর থাকবে না।